Coming to you from Wareham, Massachusetts at Spillane Field. We're ready for more Falmouth Commodores baseball. After some rain cancellations and fog, we're hoping to get a consistent stretch of baseball with the first of 11 consecutive days of Commodores baseball coming your way. Matt Venezia, Zach Sardenik, Destiny Sanchez joining you here as the Commodores are set to take on the Gatemen, a West Division battle, a West Division that has seen Falmouth of late been in the basement, but not for long. Destiny Sanchez has an update on when the last time it was that Falmouth was not in the basement in this division.
Thanks, Matt. Falmouth, with their win 2 nights ago against YD, allowed them to move up in the rankings for the first time since June 22nd. The Doors are now in the 4th spot in the West Division. The Gatemen right now are below them in the bottom spot. So depending on how this game goes, the Doors could stay where they are. They could move down. We'll have to see, but it would be nice to see Falmouth push to preserve their spot here as there's 3 weeks left in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Destiny. I mean, you'd have to go back to that Born Braves matchup, Zach, the day on the radio that we were holding umbrellas up to keep our gear and keep our equipment dry there at Durand Field in a game that the Commodores came up empty in. That's the one team in this division that's really had Falmouth's number to this point. We'll see Born in 2 days, but nonetheless, you got to take care of an opportunity tonight against a Wareham team that really this season you've had its number.
You have, but this is also a Wareham team that is really good at home. You saw the Doors in their last meeting here come in and immediately get the offense going and make a statement. That's something they need to do today. And really try to just keep themselves focused because Wareham is in this spot right now because they've been struggling as of late. The Doors have been playing good baseball, but especially with all the weather impacts, this is a team that's pretty rested, and you want to take advantage of that and get the momentum right back that you had before.
The Gatemen sitting at 10 wins, 13 losses, and 2 ties to the Commodores 10, 12, and 2 up in the standings, up by 1 spot. Right now the two teams have the same amount of points, but because Falmouth has played 1 less game than Wareham, and of course winning 2 games to the 1 against the Gatemen, that's why Falmouth sits in the 4th spot.
The other problem that Wareham's going to have in terms of trying to win a tiebreaker is they've allowed more runs than anybody else in the league. And the first tiebreaker after head-to-head is runs allowed, and the Gatemen are not doing well in that category.
Yeah, it's true. The Gatemen right now sitting last in the Cape League, 152 runs given up this season. And, you know, if you looked at how many errors there have been, well, they've given up 126 earned. So there have been plenty of runs. That's also last in the Cape League. This pitching staff certainly is going to need a big effort tonight from Yoel Tejeda, and he takes the mound today for Wareham.
He's got really good stuff and a really good frame. Standing at 6'8", the big righty is really going to be tough because it's going to feel like he's coming right downhill to you from where he's at on that mound. Really long and lanky up there on the rubber. That fastball is going to get on hitters quick.
Tejeda was a Florida Gator this year, but getting ready to transfer to the other big Florida school in Tallahassee on to Florida State. Will be a Seminole come fall time.
It's going to be an interesting battery with him and Lostris behind the plate, who was also at Florida and is also leaving Florida, headed to Charlotte. So a couple of former Florida Gators that are going to be connecting something they've probably done before at school.
So we mentioned Tejeda to this point in the year, getting into his 5th outing, a 5.68 ERA to this point, 5 strikeouts to 7 walks. Has struggled a little bit, as you mentioned, with picking up opportunities, kind of what his numbers at UF replicate. But again, anytime you get a chance on the Cape, you like your chances. For the Commodores, though, looking for win number 11 on the year. John Spikerman leading it off. He'll be in straightaway center field. Travis Bazzana continues to be hot. He's in the 2 spot today at second base. Kyle DeBarge remotely in the 3 hole. He'll be at the hot corner at third. Tyler McGregor cleaning it up as usual over there at first base. Another Florida Gator, Luke Heyman, behind the dish. He's there in the 5 spot. Cade Snell, tonight's designated hitter, had a pair of doubles last time before the cancellation of yesterday's game. Gavin Keelan out of Louisville will be at shortstop. Gavin Turley from Corvallis, the Oregon State Beaver, in left. And Tab Tracy rounds out the order out of Texas A&M. John Spikerman's ready to step into the box, and we're ready to bring you this broadcast here from Spillane Field. Out of the wind is Tejeda. Looks deep into the glove there behind the plate of Lostris, and he delivers the offering. It's a fastball in the dirt. Right as we get going here at 6:02, it's in the dirt for a ball. Spikerman had himself going last time out with a pair of doubles as well, as this fastball was a hot one. Stays upstairs, 96. It's jumping out of the hand of Tejeda here.
It is, but he's not locating it yet. And if you're Spikerman and the Commodores in general, you have to make Tejeda come to you. Make him throw strikes.
Trying to find one here in this 2-ball-and-nothing count. Spikerman taking all day. Good decision. It looked pretty good. 94 was up and in. Looks like it got the zone, but behind the plate says otherwise. It's 3-0.
Yeah, just a really tough spot to locate at the letters on that outside edge and just missed it.
The offering 3-0. That one just barely got the zone, low and in. That one here says it missed, but nonetheless, maybe an even call there. Makes it 3-1. Spikerman seeing it now, though. A ton of fastballs to get him going here. Tejeda, full wine, delivers, same spot. Got the result this time again, and now from 3-0, all these fastballs have given us a full count.
And we've seen everything in at 92 or faster from Tejada. We'll see if he's the same way in this one.
Tejeda, with one shake, raises a glove and into the motion. The offering in the full count. Spikerman got enough on it, sends it straight back and foul. That was the hottest one we've seen. 96 is sent over our heads and foul.
96, the hottest that the Commodores have seen all summer.
There's no doubt about that. It's nice to have this TrackMan software for us to keep up with the numbers as they come. A partnership with TrackMan and the Cape League. The 3-2 pitch. Spikerman slaps at it on a hop. A nice play by Murillo at short. The throw across. Despite the speed of Spikerman, he's gone after battling one away.
It's a good swing on a pretty good pitch from Tejeda to send it the other way. Nice little short hop there by Murillo, and just barely gets Spikerman, who was cruising down the line.
We've seen Sebastian Murillo a plethora of times now. He's been the opening day shortstop for the Gatemen since that victory, 12-11, what seems like a million years ago on June 10th, the opening day of the centennial season for the Cape Cod Baseball League. And now it's Travis Bazzana will step in. First pitch swinging sharply on the ground at second. There's a play on it, and the flip in time on over to Spillane. 2 away on a pair of ground balls.
I like that approach from Bazzana. He saw that Tejeda had dialed in with that fastball in the zone. Got one middle, just didn't get it up enough in the air, send it into the ground. You can hit it 99 on the ground, but if you're going to hit it right at somebody, it's more than likely going to result in an out.
In the 3 spot with nobody on and 2 away, Kyle DeBarge will step in now for Falmouth. Takes a fastball upstairs on the first pitch to DeBarge. We mentioned yesterday's game getting rained out, postponed due to rain. Supposed to have an off day tomorrow, but that's when we'll make up that game. It'll be Brewster and Falmouth coming to you from the Gov. We'll have it for you at 6 p.m. Tejeda in the motion, up and away on that fastball again, pretty remotely just using that pitch so far. Don't think we've seen anything else from him to this point. Maybe just a changeup to start off the ball game, but it's been that mid-90s pitch he's used so often, like we see right there, 95 called for a strike. It's 2-1.
And he's finding himself the zone, and that's something that is going to be really nice for him, because if he can throw it that hard, these guys can time that speed up, as we've seen some good swings, but it's tough.
Another one there as there's a loud pound of the glove behind the plate. Makes it now a 2-2 count with 2 away. Kyle DeBarge 1 for 4 in the win against YD the other night. Had himself a base hit earlier on in the ball game. Trying to find one here to extend the inning for Falmouth here in the visiting half of the first. The pitch just barely got enough. It sends it straight back over the chain link fence here at Spillane Field. The second time the Doors are the visitors against Wareham, but the last time we'll be here this season. Neutral site will take place for the away game of Falmouth and Wareham in a matter of weeks. DeBarge got on that one. He drives it out to pretty deep left field, still giving chase and making the play a charade on the run. Got a lot of that one, but it stays in the yard here at Spillane by a matter of a couple of feet. The Doors go 1, 2, 3. Their first chances here. When we come back, Rio Britton, the newest draft pick of the Diamondbacks, will take the mound on the Commodores Radio Network. The newest Arizona Diamondback prospect will now take the mound for the Commodores today. Rio Britton looked real good in his last outing on the road at Lowell Park against Catuit the other day. He's back out there for Falmouth.
He did. He went 5 innings in that game, gave up just 1 hit. It was a solo shot in the first that he gave up to Cole Mathis for the Cavaliers. But besides that, he was outstanding at Lowell Park, and he's going to try and keep that going against the Gatemen lineup that hits really well at home all summer long, including in the last matchup between these two teams. The Doors just hit better in that game, so we'll see if Britton can keep them at bay throughout this one.
First pitch swinging, it's sent straight back by Bobby Bozer, but in that ball game, Zach, after that first inning solo shot, 6 consecutive zeros put up on the board by the Falmouth bullpen by Hunter Hodges before Sam Highfield in the 8th gave up 2 runs and made it 3-1. Then we saw McGregor hit that home run to cut the lead in half. Britton comes back with another one. That one's in there at 84 for a strike. He's quickly ahead, 0-2 on Bozer. The South Florida Bull leading it off at third base today for the Gatemen. Trying to find a way to get going is this Wareham team. Britton into the motion, the pitch. It's chopped right by us. I don't know if I could get that. It's on the other side of the screen. Close here at the Shark Tank, sitting up on the third base dugout. Almost. We'll have to wait again for us to get an in-game ball with that Centennial logo. Oh, well. Britton into the motion from the left side. The pitch, fastball way upstairs off the glove of Heyman. Goes straight back to the screen. The first ball, the at-bat makes it 1-2.
Just slipped out of the hand a little bit. But when you're that far ahead in the count, you can afford to have a pitch like that.
That you can. I mean, Rio works ahead pretty much all the time in that game against the Cavaliers. He'll do it again, the 1-2. Slowed it down, but it's slicing out into right. Unless Tab gets there, he lays out and makes the play. Was just about to say that might get down, and Tracy, diving by the right field line as it was slicing away, will make a Gold Glove play for the first out of the inning.
Really long run for Tracy, and just kind of snow coned that one. It came up as he rolled over and almost popped out of the glove, but he was able to hang on to it for out number 1.
Bobby Bozer is robbed of extra base hits from a guy that we've seen make plays like that pretty continuously throughout the season. That's a loud first out with Nick McLean out of Arizona State in the box. He slices one over the dugout of Falmouth on his first offering.
For Tracy, a guy that is used to covering a lot of ground. He plays center field normally, and he's out in right field for the Doors tonight and has been quite a bit this summer. And he can really run, and showing it off there, not afraid to lay it out, make that play.
Good take by McLean on that breaking ball down in the dirt. Heyman keeping it in front of him behind the plate. Nick McLean, the Sun Devil, batting .290 on the year at this point. 3 home runs and 13 driven in. Up in this 2 spot in the order. He's led off as well. The 1-1, same spot as the first offering, slicing over the bleachers here at Spillane on the side of the first base line. And Rio Britton back in his dominant performance stance here. 1-2, trying to find the putaway of the center fielder in tonight's Gatemen lineup. Britton delivers, swing and a miss. Sped him up at 93. Cut on an empty was McLean, 2 away.
Just elevated that fastball, and McLean couldn't catch up to it.
2 up, 2 down on some 1-2 counts from the lefty Britton out of NC State, a Wolfpack member of the ACC, as we mentioned, earning himself a draft pick selection in this year's draft here on this final day of the MLB draft. Garen Caulfield will take on Britton now. Takes that first one again in there for a strike. Took something off of it coming in at 86. Britton, glove to the face, gets into the motion there and now fires one. And a check swing, did he go? No, he did not. Nice hold there by Caulfield. Evens the count at 1. Britton adjusting that baseball in his glove, looking for the grip to find the pitch here on the 1-1. Sent straight back to the screen, went with the fastball there. And again, 3 straight 1-2 counts, always having himself a spot to go to a put-away pitch.
And you love the attitude to get to those spots. I know Mike Landry loves it. He talks about it all the time. Efficiency in attacking the zone, and that's what Britton's doing right now.
This one here, chopped again right at us in this little section. My goodness, that ball came through the shark cage. I left my glove at home. I mean, if I knew this was what it was going to be, I think we would have had ourselves a pair of souvenirs up here, Zach.
Maybe. Would have been close. We'd have to test your reaction time over there, Mr. Venezia.
I was behind the plate. We know this. The 1-2 from Britton here in the first. Chopped right along the third baseline. It'll go foul. Remember the last time we were here at Wareham, we talked about the way the baselines are set up. It's along the curb of the grass before you get into this stone dust pavement material. So when the baseball kind of tightropes along the grass, it's almost like a lip of a curb for it to come back towards the dugouts and be foul.
And it can work the other way as well. That's why DeBarge came in and grabbed that ball as soon as he could, because on the other side of the baseline, it can curve back towards fair territory.
Britton here. We'll do another 1-2 again, looking very dominant to this point here in the first. He fires the pitch. It's cut on and missed. 93 low and away, and it's 2 strikeouts for Rio. Not bad for the day you get drafted to the big leagues. He goes 1-2-3 as well. We'll go to the second. In a pitcher's duel so far, we'll be right back. As we see the warm-ups from Yoel Tejeda, we'll let you know the defense behind him. They have Sherrod out in left. We saw him make a play on the run there in the left center field gap. Nick McLean straight away. Harrell out in right. Bozer, Murillo, Caulfield, and Spillane read the infield. First pitch swinging on a backhand pick. The play by Murillo in time across the diamond. The door swinging early. Couldn't even get through the middle infield of Wareham, as we already see one away here in the top of the second.
4 outs recorded. All of them hit over 90 miles an hour off the bat. That one at 97, they are hitting the ball really hard, and that's got to be a good sign for what you feel like might be some future success for Falmouth.
I'll tell you what, I've written a pair of 6-3 putouts, Zach. They've been tough over there on one hops on the backhand. It's a long throw for Murillo. Nonetheless, he's making it look easy there. Georgia Bulldog at short today. With Tejeda going back into the motion, taking on Luke Heyman. Swing and a miss. This is from this year. Teammate on teammate crime, Gator on Gator. Except now, next year, they'll be doing the Battle of Florida between Gainesville and Tallahassee. Heyman having himself a good year this year at Florida. Put some vital time together as you see this one, a fastball low and in, 1-1 between the College World Series and playing a lot of meaningful baseball beyond even the SEC tournament.
Yeah, really good start to his career at Florida and just trying to keep that going with the Gators moving forward.
Heyman chops this one. It's a tough play for Murillo in on the grass, and it gets away from him. Had to make a play on the run. That'll be a base hit, no doubt. And Luke Heyman picks up a knock. That's his first one of the season here for Falmouth.
Baseball's a silly game. First 4 batters all hit the ball over 90 miles an hour off the bat for the Doors, go 4 up, 4 down. And then Luke Heyman hits one that doesn't even make it 100 feet before it stops rolling, and he ends up at first base.
Like you said, it's a funny game that we like to watch and work with and participate in. So nonetheless, maybe not how Heyman drew it up, but that's his first knock of the season. He stands aboard at first base. Only stole 1 stolen base this year, so can't expect him to be too much of a man in motion. We'll see, though, what the sign is as a take here in the box by Cade Snell. The fastball was up. He didn't like the call. Makes it 0-1 from Tejeda, who now works out of the stretch.
I think Cade might have went around on that anyways. He tried to hold up, and I don't know that he did.
He wasn't too happy about the call. Another picture, and this one's going to be driven down on a hop. It'll get down and left. Snell goes the other way. That looks like a more conventional base hit that you typically would see. Cade Snell is red hot. The pair of doubles we talked about the other night against YD, and now this here to get him going in the second.
He's such a polished hitter, and that's not something you always see from big slugging first baseman type players like Snell, but he's so comfortable going the other way. He doesn't try to do too much. Gets a fastball outside of the zone, outside, just slaps it the other way for a base hit.
Don't look now, but that's already 14 hits for Cade Snell, a guy who wasn't even here to start the season for the Commodores. 351 hitter entering today's action here at Spillane. Now Gavin Keelan will step in. First pitch swinging, got popped up on it. It'll be playable for McLean in not too deep center. Heyman won't even try the speed. The cutoff throw is made over there by Murillo, and that's a second out here, keeping those back-to-back base hits parked at second and first.
Let's see what Gavin Turley can do here. Guy that if he catches a barrel on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, you might be looking for it over those football bleachers out and left.
You know he's certainly capable. We talked about all of his numbers as Turley, just as much as anyone, is looking for that first base hit of his. He knows it. Trying to find it here and get himself going. If that Beaver can get going in this Falmouth order, this offense can really take off, and that might be an understatement still.
It is, and I talked to him before the game today. He said the swing was feeling good. He's just ready to get out there and get going.
309 in his rookie campaign up in Corvallis with the well-polished Oregon State Beavers, a program that has produced such great talent, including Travis Bazzana here, who's expected to be one of the very best prospects in next year's draft. Speaking of the MLB draft this weekend. In the dirt, a nice block behind the plate by Las Tres. Spiked 84 down there, looked to be the slider. Not able to find it there in the dirt, 1-1.
Yeah, just didn't seem to have the feel for it. We haven't seen him throw that pitch much at all today. It's pretty much been fastball with the occasional changeup mixed in, and maybe that's why he wasn't throwing it either. He doesn't normally have good feel for it, or he's avoiding it because today he doesn't have good feel for it.
Still early in the ball game. Tejeda just building that repertoire here. He goes with the fastball up and away. Nice take at 96 from Turley, makes it 2-1. And nonetheless, even if you're still looking for that hit, if you're still working good at bats, at least you're getting yourself the best chance to see good pitches to swing at.
And in a spot like this is a way to come through and get yourself feeling good because a base hit could give your team the lead.
Turley trying to find one here. Takes that one, kind of a yellow light sort of stride there, and didn't end up bringing the barrel through the zone. That one's in there for a strike, low and in. And it's 2-2. A lot of deuces out there. They're wild here in this second inning. 2 on. In the second, a 2-ball, 2-strike, and 2-out situation for Tejeda. Big spot for both sides. A lift of the leg from the stretch, and the pitch went up the ladder, swing and a miss. Turley comes up empty, a swinging strikeout. That's the first strikeout of the day for a Falmouth bat. And that ends the second half of the Doors despite those 2 base hits. We go to the second in a 0-0 game here at Spillane Field. outside of a fly ball and a diving play by Tab Tracy. Rio Britton did it himself over the last two batters there in the first. Everyone else helping Rio, Gavin Turley, John Spikerman, and Tab Tracy's big glove. Glove, not glove. Read the outfield left to right. Kyle DeBarge, Gavin Keelan, Travis Bazzana, and Tyler McGregor left to right in the infield. Luke Heyman, the Gator, catching the balls and strikes, and Rio into the motion out of NC State. Drops a breaking ball in there for a strike on the outer third. He'll take on Lawson Harrell here. First man he'll face here in this second inning. So far, seeing the minimum and trying to continue that trend. A swinging foul ball straight back makes it 0-2.
Little Carolina battle here with Rio Britton at NC State and Lawson Harrell out of Campbell. This is the first time the Doors have seen him this summer. 4 of 17 so far for the Gatemen.
Well, he was Big South Player of the Year as he takes this one upstairs. The Campbell Camel has been quite the guy to have into your lineup for a team that's trying to get going in the Gatemen. I mean, again, like last week up near second place in the West Division, now all the way down to the basement. Breaking ball drops in, and it's pulled down into left for a base hit. Despite the diving reach of DeBarge and Keelan, just like that, the Camel we've been talking about has his first hit of the ball game to lead off this second inning for Wareham.
Yeah, that's a breaking ball that sat middle, and with a hitter like Harrell at the plate, you'll take a single on that pitch.
371, 70 runs driven in on 22 balls over the fence. Yeah, that works on where that pitch ended up. I mean, looking at our tic-tac-toe board of the strike zone, I mean, that is as middle as it gets. So that presents Tommy Spillane a chance with a runner aboard. A purposeful pitch out here has Heyman come out to receive it. Keeping tabs on Harrell with Tommy Spillane in there now. Spillane, tonight's first baseman, with Grant Hussey designated hitting. We've seen him at first base as well. For the Gatemen, this one's spoiled and foul over the bleachers along the Falmouth dugout. Good job by Rio to pick up a strike here in this AB. Evens it at 1.
He's trying to settle himself down. A ground ball here can take away both runners. Got a couple of double plays in that Katuitt game. You've also just got a chance to just keep the inning alive. That man at first base isn't going to hurt you.
Nice job painting the outer black third with that slider coming back over. Spillane took it the whole way, and it's again 1-2. Spillane is as hot as they come. 4 hits in his last 2 games over the YD and Bourne matchups that this team has had recently. Britton delivers 1-2. This one slicing. It'll get down into right for a base hit. They're going to wave around second onto third. Will go Harrell. He'll hold up there. It's a long single, and then just barely diving back is Tommy Spillane. He almost got nabbed there after that base hit. Good lively arm from Tracy. Nonetheless, though, back-to-back singles have Gatemen on the corners with nobody away.
I think Spillane thought Tracy was going to try to superhero that to third and was trying to move up to second. A smart play by Tracy to get it in quickly to second base and split those runners.
It was almost just like a dying quail out there into right. An opposite field shot from the right-handed Tommy Spillane sets up the big bat, and Grant Hussey an opportunity here. Has been very good, hitting .279 this year. Just 2 home runs, but 22 runs driven in. Right at the top for the Gatemen at this point in the year. In and out of the glove for a ball on that one. Looked to be the fastball low from Britton. Rio now working out of the stretch, obviously, with the consecutive base hits here. After a very quick 1-2-3, a different situation here. Spillane went fishing for that one. Came up empty on 86, sliding away from him. In this left-on-left matchup, it's 1-1. Out of Morgantown with West Virginia there in the Big 12 is Hussey. 92 here sent straight back on the foul ball. And again, Rio Britton, for what it's worth, he's given up the hits in this inning, but he's put himself in spots to get outs by himself.
He has, and he's going to need to, because in a spot like this, you want to limit the damage as much as possible. 1 run early in this game isn't going to kill you, but you just want to keep yourself focused and continue to pound the zone.
Fastball never had a chance up and in, had Hussey leaning his head out of the way of that one. And you mentioned the last time we were here, you can never have enough runs against this team. The Gatemen have the most runs in the Cape as well as the most RBIs to this point of the year. Can never have enough insurance and offense against a group like this, despite the losing efforts it's had recently. 85 there on the outer third, sent straight back again. Just getting enough on it to battle in this 2-2 situation here. Still nobody out for Britain and the Commodores here in the home half of the second at Spillane Field. Hussey waggling that bat there from the left side. Britain a look to first. Couple of them now. Lifts the leg and delivers. The pitch sent straight back again. Fouled on the fastball there. Upper part of the zone. Hussey battling here. Had himself 3 strikeouts last time the Doors were here at Spillane. Just couldn't get a feel out there on the mound. I believe it was Michael Barnett throwing that day for the Commodores. That was his debut. Britain trying to do it here, though, with 2-2. 2 men on for the Gatemen here. The pitch, swing and a miss. Went with a slider down and a good block behind the plate by Heyman to keep it in front. A really timely third strikeout for Britain already, and 1 away.
That gets yourself in a position to be in position to get out of the inning. Now a ground ball, and if you turn it, you're heading back to the dugout.
Sebastian Murillo now. We talked about him, the Georgia Bulldog. Steps in there now. Just under 260 on the average to this point in the year. 17 of 66. Has driven in 12. Got a massive spot for that here in the second inning with 1 away. However, as he comes up empty on that slider low and away from him, the double play ball in order. Middle infield of the Commodores pinching that bag at second. There is a shift favoring the pull side of Murillo on the left side of the infield. Travis Bazzana maybe about 10 feet off the right side of the baseball bag there at second. Fastball up and away, stays there, makes it 1-1. You have Gavin Keelan playing pretty remotely in the nice 6-hole spot there, but not too far away from Kyle DeBarge, who's still kind of tight to that third base bag, but playing relatively deep. Favoring that left side, as we mentioned. The 1-1 from Britain. This one's popped up, slicing foul. A look by McGregor. He doesn't have a play on it there at first. And again, 1-2 for Rio.
We've seen a situation similar to this earlier in the season with the way they're playing and with DeBarge at third. If the ball is hit to DeBarge and he doesn't think he can turn 2, don't be surprised if he tries to get Harrell going home.
Yeah, as you mentioned, already has one of those situations there in the Brewster game at home a couple of days ago. The 1-2 here from Rio. Never had a chance. Looked to be a slider that just never really slid. It stayed away. A reaching grab from Heyman there up and away. Provides a 2-2 count here for Murillo. In the last 2-2 count, Britain went to the slider in the dirt. What does he go to here? The 2-2 on the play. It's a fastball driven on a line. Spikerman's got to play. It'll take a big arm because tagging at third is Harrell. The play at the plate. Not able to get the tag down was Heyman.
Ooh, Heyman very, very much saying he got that tag in.
He thought he had it. Heyman wants to have a discussion. Harrell came in charging quickly, ran into our home plate umpire. The throw was up the line, and I think Luke still thought that he got that tag down despite being up the line.
And he's still tapping his helmet, saying he got the tag on the head of the base runner. They're going to talk this thing over and see what it is. But Luke Heyman was immediately adamant that he had got that tag down.
It's rather tough. No replay. It's almost like what you saw. It's happening so fast for the home plate umpire behind the plate. But the other two umps here at Spillane will talk about it. They say he's safe.
They're never going to overturn that call in that spot with no replay. But that's unfortunate for Heyman and the Doors. If he did tag him, we don't have the benefit of replay either. But that's tough.
This TrackMan stuff's pretty cool, but we don't have the next step in terms of getting close to a Major League broadcast and having those replay functions. So write it up as a Sebastian Murillo sacrifice to Spikerman out in center, and that allowed Lawson Harrell to come in and score. So it's 1-0 for the Gatemen here in the second. Got to limit it to that, though. Still standing at first is Tommy Spillane. He wasn't able to advance on that big throw from John, which, by the way, Spikerman delivered a cannon in there, and for what it's worth, Luke Heyman really thought he got him there on that double-up chance. Spillane extending his dancing lead there. Check back over. Did they get him? No, he did not. Spillane was hop-stepping and dancing, facing the left-hander in Britain, who's looking at him the whole time there while he's set. Let's see what he does here.
He was trying to draw that throw there. Maybe see if he could get him throwing away.
Britain still delivers home. It's a slider in the dirt. Nice block there. Makes it 2-0. Tommy Spillane hasn't stolen a base yet this season. Here on the summer, that is. But being a big power cleanup bat like he was for the Mountaineers, can't expect him to take off. He could just be getting funny over there. Heyman kept this one near him on the fastball upstairs. Never had a chance. It's 3-0 here. The only real time that we've seen Rio Britton fall behind. Rene Lastrace, the catcher. First time we're introducing him here on the broadcast. Stepping in now. Has a massive advantage in this hitter's count, does the Gator. He sharply lines this one. Getting there is Turley. He makes the play in relatively deep left center. A couple of barrels in that inning, yet only one run comes across on Rio Britton. 1-0 for the Gatemen. Falmouth's got to figure it out here as we move on to the third. The Gatemen getting on the board there in the home half of the second, have the home team on top 1-0 as we get ready for the third. That's the score here in Wareham, but Destiny Sanchez updates us on the scores around the Cape.
Thanks, Matt. There's 3 other games going on tonight. The YD Red Sox lead the Harwich Mariners 3-2 in the top of the 7th. The Orleans Firebirds are ahead of the Brewster Whitecaps 5-1 in the bottom of the 5th. And the Hyannis Harbor Hawks lead the Katuitt Kettleers 1-0 in the top of the 2nd.
Thank you, Destiny. Commodores going to have to keep an eye now on Hyannis. The Harbor Hawks have had the doors number this season. And with Hyannis beating the big dogs in the West Division right now, because now you look up, Hyannis is the only team ahead of you there in that 3 spot right now with Falmouth in the 4. You want to try to catch up to the middle part of this West Division.
You do, but Hyannis has been playing really good baseball. They knocked off Bourne yesterday. They beat the Gatemen a couple of days ago dominantly. They had thrown a no-hitter into the 7th inning here at Spillane against a very good offensive team in Wareham. They've been playing really good baseball. That's the lone team on the Cape that the Doors have yet to earn a point against. 0-3 against the Harbor Hawks.
That's right. You remember the game that Falmouth was up 5-1. Hyannis came all the way back. Then the rain came in, canceled the game after 5 innings, gave the Harbor Hawks the victory.
Then the walk-off the next time.
Then the walk-off the next time, and then at home, a 3-1 loss in the second game of that Nesson series that Nesson was doing of the Cape League, with Falmouth getting back-to-back home games there on the Nesson regional broadcast. Tab Tracy in the 9th spot will lead off this third inning for Jeff Trundy's guys, who Coach Trundy winning game number 500 in his career in the regular season last time the Doors were playing baseball. That was against YD at home. Tejeda back into the motion. A bunt effort here gets pushed along the third base line, but foul in the air. One hops into the dugout of the Gatemen.
Really want to get back into this game right now and get some offense. Try and respond right away. Get that run right back and try and even things, or at least get it back even, and if not, take the lead.
We'll see what Tab Tracy's able to come through with here. 279 on the average is Tab to this point in the season. The offering from Tejeda, way late on that one, 95, cut on and missed. It's easy to be late on it when it comes in that hot. Again, probably the hottest stuff the Commodores have seen from an arm to this point in the summer.
It is, but the Doors have seen Tejeda pretty well, with the exception of that one strikeout to Turley.
The offering, Tab, fouls it straight back. That was another fastball trying to work him backwards. It's still 1-2. Tab Tracy, just his third start now in the month of July. We've played a good amount of games. He's been in and out of the lineup, as there's been a plethora of outfielders here for the Commodores to have to rotate through. But Tab is in there today in the 9th spot. Just barely got a piece of this fastball again. It's been exclusively that pitch here since being ahead in the count for Tejeda. We'll do the 1-2 once again.
Tracy looks uncomfortable enough with it that I wouldn't go away from it here if I was Tejeda.
In that spot, though, for the hitter, maybe you guess on it. Well, Tejeda mixed it up here. The pitch went with the hot stuff. Tab gets contact, though. It's grounded and bobbled by Caulfield at second. That's going to be an error. Wasn't hit all that hard, only 88. Tab at least on time compared to his previous swings on that fastball, but right there, he's able to get on with an E4.
Now this puts you in a spot that you really want to score. If you're the Doors, you get the leadoff man aboard. You got the top of the order coming up. Do what you can to bring that runner around.
Caulfield kicking that one to himself there on a pretty routine play there at second. Now he adjusts the dirt there at his second base position. Flipping the lineup card, John Spikerman pushing the bunt. Will it get down? It does along the first base line. He's going to beat it out. John Spikerman had a lot of airtime on that bunt effort, but no one could make the play there at first with Spillane, Caulfield, and Tejeda charging in on it. And with all that speed, you're not going to catch Spikerman. He's on for the first time today.
When that ball went up in the air like that, it was going to be one of two things. A double play ball, because Spillane was going to catch it and Tracy was already to second, or it was going to be a base hit. As soon as it hit the ground, that was going to be a hit.
Good effort there for the Commodores to work some luck on the error and then to play some small ball to set up a chance for the team's best hitter at this moment, Travis Bazzana. Bazzana, a .353 hitter entering today's contest. I mean, we talked about his efforts over the last couple of games. He has currently going for him now a 6-game hitting streak, including the likes of a cycle and several multi-hit efforts for Bazzana. Went 2 for 4 against YD in that 5-2 win the other night. We're supposed to play yesterday against the Whitecaps, but the rain had other ideas. But the field should be more than ready to go for the makeup tomorrow.
5 of those 6 games in the hit streaks were multi-hit games for Bazzana.
Bazzana chops this one to second. Caulfield has another go at it, and he kicks it to himself again. Pretty routine running to his left, in and out of the glove. The bases are loaded on a hit and 2 errors by the second baseman.
Sometimes you can get in your own head, and it looks like Caulfield's right there right now.
And again, in the case of Travis Bazzana, when you're hot, you're hot. Sometimes you find ways to get on even when you probably should not. The bases are fully juiced for Kyle DeBarge. There is a mound visit being had with just the infield here, trying to get a grasp on this situation right now. DeBarge is in the box, dangerous hitter, no doubt. But right behind him is Tyler McGregor, the big slugger for the Commodores, just recently named Cape Cod Offensive Player of the Week. Probably didn't hear much about it because of all the content being pushed out about the MLB draft picks. But nonetheless, the week from McGregor has been certainly worth noting and highlighting, rather, here Cape League-wide. But the big Husky out of Northeastern awaits in the on-deck circle. Kyle DeBarge now has a chance with the bases fully loaded with Commodores and nobody out here in the top of the third.
He roped one in his last at-bat, too. It was a line out, but he was right on that fastball.
97, the hottest we've seen off the outer third of the right-hander in DeBarge. Tejeda trying to find the zone there, being very picky around the zone there. You know you got a hot bat in the lineup when you're doing that. But it is DeBarge for the Commodores. Out of the stretch, Tejeda. And this one's sliced foul by DeBarge, makes it 1-1.
You'll take one up in the air like that. If you can get it fair and get into the outfield, Tracy's got really good speed. Would take a really strong throw to get him at the plate. I wouldn't be surprised if they even just tried to throw it to third if DeBarge can get one far enough into the outfield.
He sharply lined out to Sherrod to end a 1-2-3 first inning for Falmouth. A massive spot here for the Doors to get back on the board. The 1-1, same result. It's sliced foul. He's late on that one. And again, as we mentioned, when it comes this hot out of the hand, it's easy to be late on pitches like that. That was a fastball low and in. Send it straight back. Couldn't quite get on it. And a big chance here for the Gatemen to find the first out of the inning.
Tejeda's amped up right now. He really wants to strike out. That is coming in hot off of his right arm.
The soon-to-be Seminole trying to tightrope out of a jam here. With Kyle DeBarge for the Commodores having other ideas. Standing there firm in the box. And now as Tejeda comes set, he steps out of the box and calls for time. Maybe some mind games being worked here. DeBarge adjusting his helmet there. Pointing that bat at Tejeda almost like a sword. Now he puts it over his shoulder as Tejeda comes set from the belt. Lifts the leg and the pitch. Late on it. Heads up to the cameraman there at the first base corner. He ducked out of the way and gives a thumbs up. He's okay. That was another fastball. 97 on the gun. And we'll do the 1-2 again.
That was coming in hot over there.
Gotta give him helmets there when you're standing there. Maybe like the softball cage as well. Good heads up by the Gatemen video crew here. Tejeda lifts the leg. The 1-2 offering. Fastball way upstairs. Cat-like reflexes by Les Trace to keep that one from going off the backstop. And it's 2-2.
Yeah, DeBarge kind of dancing after that one. He thought about going upstairs for it, but able to lay off it. We'll see if he goes right back to it there after getting a thought from DeBarge.
Slowed it down on Tab Tracy in a 2-2 count. earlier this inning. What does he do here in a 2-2? Went with the fastball. It's on the ground. A diving effort off the glove of the third baseman. Arillo fields it. The throw on first, not in time. You'd have to rule that a base hit. It's an RBI infield knock. Kyle DeBarge comes through for another RBI. He's got 11, and that one ties it up at 1.
It's a hit for DeBarge, and you love it if you're the Doors, but we got to talk about that play from Murillo to keep that ball on the infield, because otherwise Spikerman's going to score and the Doors are going to be in front.
4 consecutive have reached, all by 90 feet. And the carousel continuing here with nobody away. Tyler McGregor now, the big bat, will have his chance with the bases fully juiced. And still nobody out, as it's a brand new ball game, 1-1. McGregor first pitch swinging, lines out to right. Tagging is Spikerman. He's got all the speed in the world. The throw going into third. Getting there is Bazana. He'll come in and break down, and on the throw, as it got away from third, just like that, Kyle DeBarge is able to advance to second. So as productive of an out that could have been, it's a sacrifice fly, and all the base runners are able to move up.
Nice job by Harold to go get it quickly and tried to throw it to third, but Bozer just unable to pick that throw out of the dirt. Sets up an RBI spot for Heyman.
Tab Tracy and John Spikerman in to score as everyone continues to move up 90 feet. The infield shifting here on the left side, on the pull side of Heyman, who now steps in. Had an infield hit last time, his first hit on the summer for Falmouth. It didn't get through the infield, so another one of those efforts would certainly get one more run, but you'd like to get one through because DeBarge, with his speed, he could make it the 4th run of the inning for Falmouth here in the 2nd. Check that, rather, the 3rd. With, again, Tejeda trying to dance out of this one here. Lifts a leg and fires. One-handed finish. It's sent straight back and fouled by the Gator, Luke Heyman. Quickly behind 0-2. Heyman now the 5th Commodore to bat. Only 1 out between the 5. They've all been productive at-bats. With a 2-1 lead for the Doors, an immediate response after Wareham grabbed the first run of this ball game. Heyman there. Not much of a knee bend, but the bat more than parallel along his back. He pops this one up on the infield, though. Giving chase is the catcher, Las Trace. He'll run out of room. Can't get there. Went just into the 1st or 2nd row of the bleachers behind Jeff Trundy's dugout. He'll do the 0-2 again. Slowed it down on him there. Got a lot of plate, though.
That's been the theme throughout this game for Tejada. He's been throwing hard for the most part. There went with a breaking ball, but he's left a lot of pitches over the heart of the plate, and that's why you've seen so many hard-hit baseballs from the Doors.
Heyman 1 for 8 now to start his season here with the Doors. A big second hit wanes in the balance here. The 0-2. Went fishing. Can't get it. Angry after that cut as the slider was nowhere near. He goes back to the dugout, and a big second out for the Gatemen.
Really good pitch by Tejeda. Went from hanging the breaking ball in the last pitch to putting it in a near perfect spot, breaking away from the right-hand hitter.
No one knows how that pitch breaks more than Luke Heyman does, being a backstop for Tejeda this year in Gainesville for the Florida Gators. But the situation remains the same, except now there's 2 out. Still standing at third is Travis Bazana. Kyle DeBarge right behind him at second with the new bat, Cade Snell. He's been as hot as they come for the Commodores, just like this entire lineup. We talked about the pair of doubles in the win against YD. Snell's just been a hitting machine, and tonight's designated hitter came up fouling that one. It's 0-1.
You wondered what his role was going to be like when Tyler McGregor got here, because he instantly slotted in at first base where Snell had been the few games before that, but he has found himself a home as a DH in this lineup, just continuing to hit some more.
Better than 350 on the season average coming into today's game. He grounds this one right up the middle. It'll get through. One will score. DeBarge right behind him. The throw won't even come in. McLean's going to hit the cut. Cade Snell brings in 2 on a base hit up the middle, and it's a 4-run spot for the Doors here on the road in the 3rd inning.
We talked at the beginning of this inning about needing a response, and that's exactly what they got right there, and then some more. But as we've said tonight and the last time we were here, you can never have too many runs against this team.
A 4-run frame on a lot of smart baseball, sacrifice situations, hits up the middle, and a pair of errors have bitten this team in Wareham in this 3rd inning that's seen 4 Doors come across the plate. Still 2 away. The inning extends for a chance of Gavin Keelan. Turley awaits on deck. he would be the only Commodore to not get a chance to bat should the inning come to an end with Keelan in the box. Because Tab Tracy led us off with the first of two errors we saw from Caulfield at second. It's a 1-0 count here to Gavin Keelan, the shortstop from Louisville. The pitch diving away on that fastball. Took something off of it, though. Could have been that two-seam kind of fading away there on the arm side of Tejeda. With an inning that has just exploded on him here. Hasn't gotten too much help from his defense or those errors, but a couple of hits as well. The pitch, Keelan got jammed on it. It's hanging up there in right, and Harrell will make the play to end a 4-run inning from Falmouth. An immediate response after the Gatemen found the scoreboard. It's 4-1 for the good guys here from Spillane. We'll be back on the other side with the Doors defense coming up. A ton of run support for Rio Britton, who now takes the mound for the third time today. First pitch there. Stays a little downstairs to the 9-man in the order, Grant Sherrod. It's been active out there in left. A lot of balls have gotten through here by Falmouth, in part to that 4-run third. This one grounded to Barge, left side of the infield. Long throw, and the stretch in time to McGregor, one away.
Really nice job by DeBarge there on that play. That ball was hit pretty hard off the bat of Sherrod and just making it look easy. Fielding it on a hop, moving to his left. Good throw, but a good stretch there by McGregor to keep that foot on the bag.
Only took 2 pitches to find the first out for Britton, who earlier today, as we mentioned, picked number 445 to the Diamondbacks in the 15th round. Trying to put on his best impression here of a major league prospect, only hours after receiving a phone call like that.
He was on the way here on the bus. Got the call.
Delivers here, swing and a miss on the fastball. That's at 92. Went with the breaking ball and the fastball. 2 swings and misses from Bobby Bozer, the South Florida Bull, trying to find himself in this at-bat. He steps out of the box and stands back in. Pretty aggressive knee bend from his right knee, but a tall, stiff leg on the left. Fastball stays upstairs. Good take there from Bozer. He lined out to Tab Tracy. Should have been extra bases if it weren't for Tab laying out there and robbing him of at least a double. If that one gets away with his speed, he could be standing at third. That one spiked in the ground there at 83 from Rio. The count's 2-2. Bozer buying himself another pitch in this at-bat than he had in that first at-bat to lead off the offense for Wareham, an inning that went 1-2-3 for the Gatemen. Rio into the motion here, delivers the 2-2. Fastball up and away. Heyman having a stab at that one, reaching to his right to keep that from going all the way to the backstop, and it's now full.
Go to your best pitch here in a 3-2 count. You don't want to give up a free base, especially to the top of the order.
The 3-2 offering. Tried to slow it down on the outer third and got a backward strikeout. Was just going to say the slider's been that pitch. low for swing and misses. This time, though, he paints the black for the second out of the inning.
Can't spin it back much better than Rio Britton just did right there. Finding that edge and getting himself, again, in control. You give up that run, you're not feeling great about it, but then you come back, your offense gets you a lead, you're in a comfortable spot, and you just continue to fire strikes.
Already 4 strikeouts for Rio Britton. Had 6 in Katuitt in his last outing. This one's first pitch swinging by McLean. It's sent into the bleachers foul, despite the chasing effort from McGregor at first, who gets back over now to his position there. McLean, as we've mentioned several times, hitting .290 entering today's action, exploded onto the scene. The Cape League coming over from ASU. Battled a hamstring injury this year with the Sun Devils before making his debut against the Grand Canyon Lopes just a couple of months back. 93 stays away, 1-1.
This may sound a little weird because of the good numbers at .290 average from McLean, but he's cooled off a little bit since his start. He was on fire to start off the summer.
McLean with a nice take there, looking at that breaking ball down and low for 82 on the gun. You mentioned he's cooled off a little bit. Hasn't had a hit in his last 2. Back-to-back 0 for 4s for McLean. Britton here behind 2-1. McLean pops it up near the dugout of Falmouth. It'll get out of play. Nice recovery pitch there with the fastball, and it's 2-2. And it hasn't really just been McLean that has slowed down a little bit. This Wareham team itself has slowed down tremendously here. They've lost 2 in a row, but they continue to give up a lot of runs in these contests, Zach. As the now count works full, 3-2. Trying to avoid the base runner to reach here is Rio. Trying to go 1-2-3. Looking into the glove of Heyman, into the motion, and the 3-2 pitch. Off the plate, never had a chance. Away from the right-handed side of McLean is a switch hitter. Batting from the right there, and he'll work his way over to first. It's a 2-out walk from Rio Britton, which gives Garen Caulfield a chance to make up for his pair of errors in the previous half inning.
And that's what you're asking for as a fielder. If you make some errors, you want to come in and get a chance to swing it and try and immediately get yourself back into good graces of your teammates, but also of yourself in your own mind.
Quick check over by Britton to see what Nick McLean's up to. He gets back there in time. McLean at ASU stole a couple of bases, not a whole lot though. He hasn't been too active in that department here, as this one is going to be called a balk on Rio. Didn't quite see it here. I was looking at the numbers for McLean and running bases, and now we'll get called on the balk, and suddenly the 2-out free pass is in scoring position standing at second.
McLean's there, but on the mound for Britton, you're still in control of this inning with 2 outs. You get 1 out, and you're out of the inning. No matter what McLean does at second base, unless he pulls an Ellie De La Cruz and steals third and home, he's not coming in to score unless you give up a hit.
That was pretty impressive the other day, wasn't it? Ellie De La Cruz just taken Major League Baseball by storm, as have the Reds. I believe 11 straight wins for the Cincinnati Reds to this point. They had a 10-game winning streak like 2 weeks ago. Continuing to win, and by a large count, the division leaders at the break in that NL Central. Britton there off the plate there, 1-0. First pitch there to Garen Caulfield. We mentioned him trying to make up for his mistakes over there at second. Went up the ladder here. This one should stay in play for McGregor, rolling into foul. That's off the top of the fence there along the right field line. He's got no play on it for the first strike of this at-bat.
It was close, but just barely snuck out, and new life for Caulfield.
That he does. Caulfield coming into today's action, 326 out of the University of Arizona down in Tucson. There's a Sun Devil on base, a Wildcat in the box. Teammates today, but not friends when they make their way back over to the Valley of the Sun. This one in the dirt to Heyman, gets away from him, and McLean moves on to third on the wild pitch.
More free 90s.
Self-inflicted has been the name of this third inning. Hasn't bitten the Commodores just yet, but it definitely did the Gatemen in the top half of this third. It's 4-1 for Falmouth. If you're just tuning in, all 4 runs of the Doors coming in this third inning. 3 hits, 2 errors, brought in 4 runs, and only one of them was earned against Yoel Tejeda. But now a massive chance here for the Gatemen to try to cut the lead in half. The 2-1 Stays upstairs. Ducking out of the way there was Caulfield, and it's a 3-1 count. Was behind on McLean, now behind on Caulfield. For that matter, was behind on Bozer before coming back in for that strikeout looking. Rio trying to settle it down here a little bit. Accepts a sign, comes set, looks down at his cleats. Now looks into Heyman. The leg kick and the pitch. Fastball up. Never had a chance. That's another free pass, the second in this inning, and the second of the game for Rio Britton. They're on the corners with the tying run standing in the box. It's Tommy Spillane. Check that rather, Lawson Harrell, who had the base hit last time, came around to score. There's a mound visit coming out here. Mike Landry wants to calm down Britton. With Harrell coming in, Tommy Spillane behind him.
There is an arm warming out there in the bullpen for the Doors. Can't tell who it is just yet because of the location of the bullpen, but we'll see if the move is made.
The advertisements along the right field wall act like a shower curtain almost. Can't quite see what's behind there. We'll see. Nonetheless, discussion being had. No motion from Landry for the call to the pen. And the discussion ends with Rio Britton still standing on the mound, adjusting the baseball, trying to get a good feel for it here. Had plenty of fastballs over the last two at-bats that just really weren't contestable. Heyman having to stand up out of the crouch to retrieve him. He walks back now to get himself settled back there, and Britton looks to be a new man there on the mound after a talk from his pitching coach. But it is Lawson Harrell. The only run came when he crossed home plate in the bottom of the second. First pitch, fastball up and away. 91 stayed there. And Britton falling behind again.
And he was so locked in those first couple innings with getting ahead in the count. It was 1-2 to each of the first three hitters of the ball game. He's gotten away from that, needs to get back to it.
His 60th pitch already is fouled onto the top of the press box here at Spillane Field. 60 pitches in just 2 2/3, in large part due to how many he's tossed here in this third inning. But nonetheless, no damage yet. Trying to get out of it here. Ground ball or a ball anywhere at any one would do the job. Fastball again, sent straight back, and Britton there. Couple of fastballs, now he's in the driver's seat. It's 1-2.
He won the 1-1 count. That's what we talked with Steve Cishek about a couple of weeks ago when he was on the broadcast. He said the importance of winning the 1-1 count because now you can do whatever you want. You're in control, like you said, Matt.
He's in control. Went to the backwards K with the slider away the last time he saw a righty in the box. What does he go to here? Lifts the leg, the pitch. Went with the slider. Low. Did not go. On the check down to first. Good offering at 86. At least had Harrell thinking about it. It's 2-2.
It's a really good pitch. The backdoor slider, or back foot slider, from the lefty to that right-handed hitter. Just trying to catch the edge or at the very least get him to swing at it.
He's set, lifts his leg. It's popped up a mile into the air, approaching towards the dugout of Falmouth, and now over the bleachers again. There's been a lot of those foul balls that off contact looked like they could be in play for the Commodores. Get over the wall, though, on that one, and it's again 2-2. Deuce is wild. Continue to say that because there's been a lot of commotion already in this ball game in big spots, with the team defensively trying to get out of them. Falmouth put Wareham along the ropes in the previous half inning. Can the Doors escape a jam here? The 2-2. Fastball just off the plate, 93 up and away. A really good take from Lawson Harrell, and the count is full. Garen Caulfield will be going on the pitch in a full count spot. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away here in the bottom of the third. With a 4-1 Falmouth lead hanging in the balance here. The payoff pitch. Fastball up, never had a shot at it. It's the third walk of the inning, having the bases totally loaded, all with 2 out.
And you get yourself to a couple of thumpers here in Spillane and Hussey coming up. This is much less than ideal for Britton, but he still has a chance to get out of the inning unscathed, although it won't be him.
Mike Landry will come out after a really, really good 2 innings. It appears a move to the pen has been done, and it appears Parker Coyle is the man trotting out of the bullpen for Falmouth, who will take on Tommy Spillane on the other side of this break. Big chance for the Gatemen to get back into this ball game while the Doors are trying to hang a massive 0. You'll find out what happens on the other side of the break here on the Commodores Radio Network. pitcher coming out was holding the glove in his right hand and has an 8 on his jersey, but not 38. It's actually 28. The righty, Sam Highfill, is the man who takes the mound in a spot where you can't give up a base runner here, Zach. Not even at all.
Yeah, nobody available to put Tommy Spillane, who will lead off this attempt against Highfill, but a chance to get out of it here. And he's been solid up and down numbers for him, though. His last couple outings, not as good as his first few with the Doors. 0-1 with a 4.90 ERA. He entered in a tough spot like this against Katuitt last time and got out of it the first time before surrendering those runs the second time and helping the Kettleers pick up that 3-2 win.
That was in the bottom of the 8th inning when Highfill began that inning of action.
And he didn't even actually give up the hits, they gave up the runs. He just had runners on the corners when he left, and it was an infield chopper that got over the new pitcher at that time in Evan O'Toole, and just really unfortunate spot.
Needed every bit of those 2 runs because McGregor's solo shot was the last bit of offense in that game. It was 3-2 for the Kettleers. First pitch from Highfill. 77 off the plate to Spillane, just showing him the breaking ball there without getting beat on the first pitch. It's off for a 1-0 count. Spillane, a base hit last time, was part of back-to-back to lead off the second. For the Gatemen here, who stand a massive chance. Highfill, massive knee bend on the mound, lifts his leg from the stretch and fires the same pitch, swing and miss. Really, really good pitch there, low and away on the slider, makes it 1-1.
Spun that one away from him, and you saw Spillane was really trying to do damage with that breaking ball. He thought that Highfill was leaving it up, and just a lot of movement on that pitch away from the bat of Spillane.
Was used 22 times this year for the Wolfpack out of NC State. 5th on the team in strikeouts. You'd like to see one here. This one jammed on. It's going to get down into shallow right for a base hit. 2 are going to score unless the throw from Tabs in time. It's not. A 2-run single against Sam Highfill, done by Tommy Spillane. And Wareham cuts the lead to 1.
Walks, walks, walks. 3 walks with 2 outs, load the bases, and that's where you get yourself hurt.
Nick McLean and Garen Caulfield were the runners to come across and score. Lawson Harrell was only to move to second. He moved up just 90 feet, and Tommy Spillane now at first, and it doesn't get any easier with the big thumping bat of Grant Hussey, now in the box out of West Virginia. You'd like to just put an end to it here and still have the lead after hanging 4 in this same half inning. Way late on the fastball, cut out and missed at 91 is Hussey. Has been a victim to going down in the dirt on some breaking balls. Hussey's got one in his arsenal. Didn't go to it there here, though, did Highfill. Makes it 0-1. He's set at the belt. Couple of front lead steps, and now he decides to go. Fastball, outer third, got the call. Makes it 0-2. Good response from Highfill. The runner on second, and Lawson Harrell still belongs to Rio Britton, but those 2 runners that just came in are tabbed to Rio's line. Still one more possible runner still in line. Highfill trying to strand them both. The pitch, slider in the dirt. Good tempting pitch there in the 0-2. 1-2 now.
Got to find it. Just find a way to get out of the inning, keep yourself in front, give your offense a chance to maybe go and extend it. But at the end of the day, you don't want to find yourself not winning after putting up a 4-run frame.
Highfill looks over to see Harrell there at second. Big swing here. Sends Spikerman out to center. He'll camp under it and make the play. Hussey making contact to the outfield, but just got underneath it to the opposite field. But not before the Gatemen find 2 runs of their own in this 3rd inning. 6 runs in total come across between the 2 sides. But it's the Commodores on top still by 1 as we move on to the 4th. 4-3 Falmouth as we get ready to move on to the top of the fourth inning. But before that, a message on Cape Cod Healthcare.
Cape Cod Healthcare is proud to be the official healthcare sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. When you need to be seen quickly for minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care offers a convenient and cost-effective treatment option with 6 locations across Cape Cod from Falmouth to Orleans. Open daily with no appointment needed and staffed by board-certified ER providers. View wait times at capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Thank you, Destiny, for the words on Cape Cod Healthcare. With the Commodores in front by a run, going up against the team that scores the most runs, but also surrenders the most runs in the Cape League. Not entirely the formula you want to rock with, given that Wareham now sits in the bottom of the West Division, but you always are contending against this team, regardless of where you fall in the standings.
Yeah, they score the most runs and give up the most runs, but the problem is they give up more runs than they score, and that's where the Gatemen have struggled. But I can tell you this, when you're playing this team, there's going to be some offense. The Doors averaging 11 runs a game through 3 games against the Gatemen, and it's picking up again here.
Well, now that Highfill was able to get out of that inning with the lead still intact, Rio Britain's day comes to an end at 2 2/3. Gave up 2 hits, 3 runs in that third inning on 3 walks with 4 strikeouts. Worked very well through the first 6 batters he saw in those first 2 innings, but then a little bit of struggles there in that third, with now Gavin Turley stepping in to lead it off for Falmouth here in the fourth. Took a strike and then cut on one at 95, sent it straight back, and Turley quickly behind 0-2.
Base runners early in innings set the tone. That's what we saw with the Doors in the last frame, with Tracy reaching, albeit by an error, but it's still an early base runner, and that's what you want Turley to do here. Fight, find a way to get on base any way how.
Turley waving his bat back and forth. Now he comes ready to go in that right-handed batter's box. The pitch from Tejeda. Thought about it, did not go on that spiked breaking pitch down and in. It's 1-2 to the Oregon State Beaver freshman this year. Such a good season that we're looking to see be translated here sooner rather than later for the sake of Gavin Turley. On the 1-2 count, fastball watched it upstairs. 95 makes it 2-2. A shake of the head from Tejeda. It's actually a 1-2 count as he gets into the motion, and the pitch left it there. Now we're 2-2 from Turley. Couple of fastballs up.
And that breaking ball low, they ruled it just got a piece of the knob of the bat, and so it was a foul ball.
You don't see that too often. My 4 eyes up here with my glasses didn't catch him either. The 2-2. Watch that one low. No foul contact on that one on that slider, and now you've worked it all the way to 3-2.
You have, and that's what we were talking about. Find a way. Doesn't matter whether it's a hit, a walk, a hit batter, whatever you can do to get on first base, that's what you want to do when you're leading off an inning.
Tejeda delivers. Fastball, he spiked it. Good take. And it's a walk from Turley. It was 0-2. Works a full count opportunity, and he stands on first with the walk.
And maybe that'll get him going, being able to see some pitches and find his way back and get on base, get involved in the action a little bit more.
So now Tab Tracy will step in for the Commodores. Reached on that error. Actually flip-flopped a little bit of the action on the errors. Only 1 charged to the second baseman, Caulfield. Tab showing bunt, pulls it back on the fastball up. He left it there. But there was a second error still in that inning. It was on the throw that allowed Kyle DeBarge's base hit to move him to second. The throw in from center field got away from the third baseman, Bobby Bozer. And that allowed DeBarge's base hit to look just like he had a double standing on second. Turley getting checked on here by Tejeda. He moves back over there to first in time. It's a 1-0 count here to the right fielder out of Texas A&M.
Turley's been dancing. He's trying to get in the head of Tejeda. Keep him thinking about him.
Tejeda from the stretch, fouled off the catcher's gear of Las Tres, straight back. He kind of wipes his hand down the catcher's mitt hand there. May have gotten a foul tip off his fingers. Adjusts himself down there, has a towel in his back pocket. Checks his fingernails, and now he gets in the crouch ready to go. Warriors back there. are those catchers. The 1-1 with Turley dancing at first base. He decides to go. Really not the best jump. The throw on the way. Turley maybe by a hair slides in there safely. Probably helped that the throw to Murillo was a little bit behind him. And he swipes second with still nobody out.
It definitely helped that that throw was behind him because he had to come across his body to try and put that tag down, and that allowed Turley, who was sliding in feet first but sliding into the outer part of the bag, to get that foot in ahead of that tag.
So now Tejeda has to contend with Gavin Turley on second. Ground ball right back to the pitcher Tejeda, and now Turley's in a pickle. He's still running back and forth. The throw in from Murillo. Turley's got speed. The ball gets away. Did they say the tag was still on him? No, it's not. What a situation. Everyone's safe. Murillo tried to slap the tag. The ball on the move fell out of his glove, and now they're on the corners with nobody out.
And that's just something that really kind of puts yourself in a spot with the Gatemen where they've been losing a lot of games recently, and at the end of the day, you end up getting yourself to where you kind of open up something, and it's like, oh no, here we go again.
Well, it looks like a move to the bullpen is going to be made here by the Gatemen. We're going to see what they rule that one. It was a chopper right back to Tejeda, and then he looks right back to second. They're going to call it a fielder's choice, which moves Turley to third because he outdid the pickle, which allows Tab Tracy to stand at first. He's on first for the second time today, despite not even having a base hit.
And it goes back to what we talked about. Any way possible. That's exactly what you're looking for.
So with that, a bullpen move being made, we'll step away and let you know who's coming out for the Gatemen. With the Doors runners on the corners here in the fourth inning, threatening here on the Commodores Radio Network. Brett Wozniak comes in now. First pitch going on the effort. It got away from the backstop Les Trace. It'll be a stolen base for sure to Tab Tracy. Turley didn't advance. So now it's third and second, nobody out. Wozniak out of High Point will come in to try to clean up a little bit of what Tejeda left on the bases here. The Doors again. You give up the 2 runs in the previous inning after putting up 4, and now you set yourself up again with a chance to score. So many runs come across between these two teams when they go head to head. like they are now. The 1-0 to Spikerman. Takes it on the inner third. Slowed it down on him, did the lefty and Wozniak, evening the count at 1.
Not surprised to see the infield in this spot either, because you mentioned so many runs, but at the end of the day, these bullpen arms on all these teams on the Cape are really, really good, and so every run's going to count as we get to the later parts of this game.
He comes set and delivers. Spiked it got away. Here comes Turley. A play at the plate. It's a bad throw that got through the infield as it's scooped up at first by Tommy Spillane. Turley's in to score. Advancing his Tab Tracy to third. Rule that one a wild pitch, giving the Doors now a 2-run lead again.
Turley hesitated on the first one. He wasn't going to miss the second one. He saw that ball go low and bounce away from Lostris behind the plate and immediately was on his horse.
2-1 now to John Spikerman. Had a couple of doubles last time in the win against Whitey. The game with all those doubles is what we're going to refer to that one as. Spikerman all over this one. It's along the left field line, and you can watch it fly. John Spikerman got all of that one at 103 off the bat. And it's a 2-run shot for the Commodores in a 3-run inning. Makes it 7-3 for the Doors.
You knew Spike was going to get one of those eventually, and he almost got one the last time we were at Spillane. He flew out to the wall that ended up being a sac fly with the bases loaded. This time, he hit it to the same spot, just made sure he hit it a little further and found that bullpen.
Spike's first home run on the season. Has hit a couple off the wall, as you've mentioned, Zach. And the Doors explode over these last 2 innings with 7 runs between the third and the fourth. And it's 7-3 for Falmouth with Travis Bazzana now stepping in. Watches that one low. Makes it 2-0. Wozniak, this is just his second appearance on the year. Struck out 3 batters over 1.2 in a 5-4 loss against the Bourne Braves. Came in a tough spot with runners on. But now, since they've all been erased, Spikerman counts to his line, as does Bazzana now in the box. Bazzana sends one out to fairly deep center. McLean coming in on it, and he'll make the play. And that, if you can believe that, is the first out of this inning after we've already seen 3 Falmouth runs come across.
That's how you respond again. Wareham's been scoring. The Doors are coming back and adding even more to the lead in the top halves of these innings, just jumping all over these pitches.
John Spikerman's 2-run shot down the left field line, got out of here in a hurry. With Kyle DeBarge stepping in now. Trying to do the same from the right-handed side of the box. An RBI single, to his credit. Was able to advance on that error that we talked about on the throw-in. Takes this one in there for a strike, slowing it down at 89 was Wozniak. As now both teams are into the bullpen in this 4th inning. A ball and a strike to DeBarge. Chops it along the third baseline. It's in on the grass, and now will roll foul. Tight-roping along that lip between the infield grass and the gravel here at Spillane Field. 1-2.
Just trying to find his way on base and keep himself moving. That's what they did all the way through. His last AB was a really good swing, find himself an RBI single and trying to just get the base runners back going again after that 1 out of this inning, even though they've already scored 3.
McGregor awaits on deck. Another big inning here by the Doors. All Falmouth here in what's typically an offensive juggernaut of a game between these two sides. The pitch, nice take there by DeBarge. Off the plate, 2-2. Ragin' Cajun gets back in there. Has that bat flipping around in his hands here. The pitch, watch the same effort. A slider in from the lefty. Stays low on tonight's third baseman for Falmouth. And now the count is full, 3-2. Trying to find a way on here with one away. DeBarge off the plate. He took it. There was a fastball, a good take. And DeBarge reaches for the second time today, which presents McGregor an opportunity. McGregor, a sacrifice to Harrell out in right field last time.
Hit that ball hard, just right on the line, right at Harrell. He's continued to find barrels ever since stepping foot onto the Cape.
Spiked this one, though, did Wozniak. He's looking at his fingers there, wondering what happened. As without a throw, DeBarge is able to move on to second on the wild pitch. Falmouth Commodores 2-1 this year against the Gatemen. A lot of runs between all three of those contests. The Gatemen took the opener on June 10th. But since then, in matchups at the Gov and now the last two here, Falmouth winners 12-2 and 11-6. DeBarge stealing to third. The throw from one knee was in time, but it got in and out of the glove of Bozer at third. Kyle DeBarge gets credited with the steal. Pretty good jump, but the throw certainly in time. It got away from Bozer.
They're just making the Gatemen make a play right now, and it's something that Wareham hasn't really been able to do so far in the field.
Infield totally in on the grass. McGregor down the right field line. It gets off the glove of the first baseman, Tommy Spillane. An RBI single from McGregor, his second run driven in today. And it's now a 4-run inning again here in the fourth. Back-to-back 4 spots from Falmouth make it 8-3 for the Doors.
The bats keep swinging. And that's exactly what Falmouth continuing to do. Another game where they're getting themselves up there in runs and hits, looking for yet another double-digit hit effort, something they've done in almost every one of these last 10 games, where they've won 7 of 9 since that 5-game losing streak.
Well, you don't have to go much further. Right now, the Commodores sitting pretty. 8 hits already through 3 1/3 innings in this ball game against the Gatemen. Can't say you're surprised given the offense from Falmouth or the numbers pitching wide this Gatemen team. As Heyman comes up empty, it's 1-1. The Gatemen, their best offensive, rather pitching stat this season is 6th in the league in home runs allowed, with just 13 entering today's action. Ground ball to Murillo. They'll try to turn 2. The flip to second in time for Spillane, putting an end to another 4-run flame from Falmouth, but not before another 4 spot by the Doors, and they break it open. It's 8-3. Plenty of baseball left, though. We'll be right back. Sam Highfill back there for the Commodores. Got out of the inning enough. Good thing he did, though, with all this run support by the Doors in the box. It was 4-3 entering that top of the 4th inning by Falmouth. Another 4-run inning has a massive 8-3 lead.
Didn't like the music choice there.
I guess not. As we were getting ready to go here, Highfill on the mound, third base umpire came yelling in on the diamond, time, time, time. Now we're good to go. And Sebastian Murillo taking the breaking ball at 77. Up and in for a strike. It's 0-1.
Yeah, can't have the music playing no matter whether it is a good song or not.
I like that song.
Yeah, it is a good one, but It's unfortunate.
Carry on my wayward son. We'll do it later. 1-1 now to Murillo. It's been a fun one here at Spillane.
I love it.
Highfill out of the wine, the 1-1. Off the outer third, got the zone 1-2. He's gone to the breaking ball a couple of times here. Now sets himself up for the put-away against the shortstop from Athens. Couple of waggles in the box. And now the offering from Highfill, stroked into left on a couple of hops. Murillo, a 2-strike base hit, leads off the fourth for the Gatemen.
He's swinging it well. He's swung it well against the doors all season long. Finds himself a pitch over the heart of plate and didn't miss it, just like he didn't miss the last one when he had the sac fly back in the second.
Those breaking balls that get a lot of plate work, I wouldn't say maybe early in counts rather than later, but you can't get away with them too often in the same at-bat. That time, Murillo makes him pay with the leadoff base hit. Now Rene Lastres will step in. Fastball takes it at 90, low and in for a strike. Lastres lined out to Gavin Turley on a 3-0 count, 103 off the bat in that putout. Highfill before coming set, looks back at Murillo. Now he's set there on the mound. Murillo staying put as it's another fastball, pretty much the same spot. Only 1 mile an hour faster. This one at 91 makes it 0-2. Another 2-strike ahead opportunity for Highfill. NC State Wolfpack member comes set, staggers himself before deciding to go home. The pitch, fastball up and away, stayed there. Nice take, tried to work him backwards with a couple of fastballs. It's 1-2. Massive amount of offensive outbursts here by the Commodores, despite only 4 of the runs being earned to the line of the Wareham pitchers, 8 in total. Murillo thought about going on this foul ball that's put straight back. That's one of those hanging breaking balls. That's middle, Zach, but it's sent straight back.
Yeah, it's not where you're looking for it, but at the end of the day, you're still in a spot where you're looking at yourself ahead in the count.
Doors looking to win another game in a row, looking for win number 4 consecutively here. The 1-2 from Highfill. Not sure where that one missed, but it was a fastball on the outer third of the black. Left out there by Lastres and makes it 2-2. Awaiting on deck, the 9-man in the order, Grant Sherrod, with a runner aboard here in Sebastian Murillo. The pitch, swing and a miss. Highfill went with the hot stuff. A lot of them in that at-bat, and he gets the win on the hill there for the first out of the inning.
It's a big punch out. Put yourself in a good spot and feel good about yourself after coming in, giving up the hard hit ball that was the base hit. In your first batter you faced to Spillane, then you give up a hard hit fly out and then another single. You want to try and get yourself back comfortable on the rubber, and Highfill able to do that with the strikeout.
Highfill coming back with the fastball. Low and in there. Got the strike. To Sherrod out of South Carolina upstate. Big numbers there. A .335 hitter. 15 over the fence with 66 driven in for the slugger in the 9th spot for Wareham tonight. Slugging one out into the gap of right center. That one's going to get down and one hop the wall. It actually clears the wall. The slugger got that one. Tough to tell from our angle, but nonetheless, damage done there. A 2-run shot has the Gatemen right back into the thick of things here.
We said it before. You can never have too many runs against this team. They'll find a way to get theirs, and they're doing it right now.
Grant Sherrod leaves the yard. We mentioned the 15 he had at school. He adds one to his resume here on the Cape, bringing in Sebastian Murillo and himself. And it's now an 8-5 game here in the bottom of the 4th.
This game is far from over. Still a whole lot of baseball left to be played.
That it is, partner. Bobby Bozer in there for the 3rd time tonight. Here in the 4th, looking for his first way to reach. Lined out to right. Tam Tracy making a great glove play. And he struck out looking last time against Rio Britton. Now he sees Highfill. A chopper to Gavin Keelan. Had to leap on a bad hop there to him. Still made the throw across the diamond. That's a good second out picked up by the Doors in the infield.
Yeah, that took a big hop onto that stone dust surface just past the grass. It hopped on the edge and kind of took off. But Keelan with a nice adjustment and a good strong throw.
Now it is McLean, the center fielder from Arizona State. 0 for 1 officially. Had a 2-out walk that he came in to score on, a part of that 2-run third inning from Wareham. First pitch in the dirt there at 84. Not quite sure if Heyman was expecting it that short on him. He kind of had a weird reaction to that one, eating off his chest protector there. Calling for the pitch. Highfill works into the motion, the 1-0. Thinking about it was McLean. Let it be there, though, off the edge, 1-1. Maybe looking for a better spot to decide to go after one here from Highfill. Accept the sign, into the works, and it's fouled straight back. Good decision at the fastball up. Got him to send it straight back, and it's 1-2.
Highfield's gotten in trouble late in counts when he's been ahead by trying to spin that breaking ball over the heart of the plate. We'll see if he goes to it here or if he tries to go back to that heater.
A big nod, yes. Looking to get out of the inning here. The pitch, fastball way upstairs. We've seen him try to work backwards with the heater already in this inning. Didn't get the result there, though, and it allows Nick McLean to see another one here. But this Gatemen team now already putting up 144 runs this season in the Cape League. Won't get one anymore here, though, as McLean goes down swinging. 83 sliding back into him, but not before the Gatemen stay in this ball game. Grant Sherritt, a 2-run shot to right center in this inning. Make it 8-5 as we move on closer and closer to the halfway point here at Spillane. It's 8-5 for the good guys here on the Commodores Radio Network. Six, seven, eight, due up for the Commodores. Cade Snell will lead off. 2 for 2 with 2 singles is Snell. The most recent one brought in 2 Commodores as a part of that 4-run third inning. The Doors matched that same total in the 4th inning. It'd be quite the feat to do that again for 3 straight innings to put up big numbers like that. Snell leaves the first offering from Wozniak upstairs. Wozniak now back out there for a second inning of work. Wasn't all that clean there in that last inning. A blooper by Snell here will hang up into left for Sherritt. He makes the play moving to his left and 1 away.
This game is played out, although a little bit later in the game, really similarly to the last time that we saw these two teams meet here at Spillane Field. The Doors put up a lot of runs. The Gatemen kind of tried to hang in there and kept it close, and then the Falmouth pitching really got itself going as the game went on later. See if they can do the same today.
First pitch swinging. Gavin Keelan is retired on a 3-1 putout over there at first for the second out. After the 4th inning, that game was 6-5 in favor of the Doors. It was 6-2 at one point. And the Gatemen came back in that first half, but then the Doors put up 5 straight zeros on the Gatemen with the help of a 4-run 7th inning, walked away victors 11-5.
And that's exactly what they're looking to do again today. You went 4 innings with this Gatemen team at the plate, and you're giving up a very similar performance to last time. Found a win that time. Can you do it again today?
Gavin Turley takes that one off the plate for a ball. Worked the walk as we talked about. Turley still looking for his first hit on the Cape Summer League here. But a really good at-bat, was behind 0-2, worked all the way to full, and then got on board. Here he's ahead 2-0. Wozniak's been surrendering a lot of base runners here on the Cape so far. Wouldn't be a bad time for Turley to crack through on an arm that's been struggling to get guys out. But this fastball here off the plate, and it's 3-0 to the rookie Beaver in Gavin Turley. Waves his bat forward, now comes set, lifts the leg, takes that one off the plate. It's a 4-pitch walk. Turley, for what it's worth, finding his way on base despite no hits just yet. That's his second walk, and 2 consecutive for Gavin, who stands at first.
Don't be surprised if he takes off. He already stole a bag last time. He's very aggressive on the base paths. Got to think Wozniak's going to have a good eye on him, though, as the lefty kind of staring him down at first.
So now it's Tab Tracy. Has reached twice and scored twice without even getting a hit. It's in part to an error and a very wacky fielder's choice that Turley was able to beat out in between second and third, which Tab was able to move on to first base. Very weird. That's why we like this game so much. You never know what you're going to get in the box. Wozniak delivers from the left side. 82 stayed low and away. A slider there was left down there by Tab. Makes it 1-1. Tracy lifts the leg. Got jammed on it. It's going along the left field line. A very awkward way to get a base hit in on the infield. He got jammed. You could hear the vibration of the baseball bat there, Zach. And Tab Tracy's just laughing over there at first base. He's on for the third time and finally gets a hit, but certainly not the way you mostly draw him up.
But a whole lot of spin on that thing as it started looking in a spot that normally you'd see that ball go foul and just spun right on back and stayed fair. The ball had stopped rolling by the time Bozer even got to it.
Between Turley and Tracy at the 8-9 spot, the two of them have reached a combined now 5 times in 6 appearances, yet there's only 1 hit across those 6 appearances. How's that for food for thought as you now flip it to John Spikerman? The 2-run shot last time for the Oklahoma Sooner allowed the Doors to stretch the lead in part to a 4-run 4th inning. After 2 quick outs, though, from Wozniak, he gets himself back in a tight situation here on the mound for Wareham. He comes set, looks to second at Turley, now delivers to Spike. It's off the plate at 88, 1-1.
You don't want to see Spikerman here, but you definitely don't want to see Bazana either, as those 2 guys at the top of the order are deadly, and it doesn't get much easier as it goes along. This Doors order can hurt you 1 through 9.
John Spikerman takes another one on the fastball off the plate. Tejeda's wasn't really quiet back there, was Las Tres. He kind of was moving his right knee there to field that one to his right side. You got to be quiet there behind the plate. Did not do that. It's 2-1. The pitch to Spikerman. Drops a slider in there on the outer third. Spike steps out of the box, adjusts his gloves, making it 2-2. Big spot here for the Doors. A base hit would certainly bring in Turley with all his speed out there. Right behind him, Tab Tracy's got some wheels of his own. Anything in the gap could absolutely bring in 2 Falmouth Commodores. The pitch, just kind of casting his arms at it. It's a pop fly into right. Camping underneath is Harrell. He'll make the play. This time the Commodores can't bring in the base runners. They load on as a zero's put on from Wareham defensively. It's still 8-5 with the Gatemen bats trying to continue to claw their way back here at Spillane Field on the Commodores Radio Network. Eight to 5, Falmouth. Sam Highfill still out there for the Commodores. But before we get this bottom of the 5th going, a word about the Hall of Fame event from Destiny Sanchez.
Thanks, Matt. Tomorrow, the Cape Cod Baseball League is hosting a hot stove event this Wednesday, July 12th, to benefit the Bring Back the Hall campaign. The panel will feature Cape League Hall of Famers Peter Gammons and Ron Darling, as well as former Red Sox pitcher Jim Lomborg. The event will be held at the Moose Lodge in South Yarmouth, with doors opening at 6:30 p.m. Purchase your tickets today at capecodbaseballleague.org.
Thank you, Destiny. Zach, off the air just now, you were mentioning that the Commodores probably might need more than 8 runs tonight. We know and have talked about the Gatemen offense and what they're capable of with scoring all those runs, the most amount in the Cape League to this point in the season. But don't look too far. Because of 7 of 9 wins for Falmouth in this stretch of time, the Doors are third in the league in runs. They're second in hits and second in average. This team is not the same team we saw through the first 15 games and struggling to score. They're doing everything that involves scoring.
Exactly, and that's why they're in front in this game. But you want to keep on pushing the issue against a team like Wareham, especially a team that's seen your pitchers well today. Both Britton and Highfill have kind of given up some pretty hard hit balls to this Gateman order.
3-4-5 due up with Garen Caulfield taking the first one off the plate from Highfill. No one on for Sam to work with against here. Fires a fastball in there for a strike at 90, does Sam. The righty in his third inning of work now, been hit around just a little bit here. All those runs that came in, the 2 in the previous inning from Wareham to his line. A couple of them surrendered, though, in the third were not. They were tagged onto Rio Britton's line. His day ending 2 2/3, 2 hits, 3 runs. Walked 3 Gatemen and struck out 4. The 2-1 offering, big wave and a miss, slowed it down on him with a slider low and away there in the zone on the outer third of the right-hander. Now Sam Highfill sets himself up here 2-2. He's gone to the fastball a lot in these counts. What does he do here? Speeds him up and gets a good result. Swing and a miss upstairs. Nice decision to go to the heater for the first out of the inning here in the 5th.
Elevates it. Caulfield's eyes got big, trying to do some real damage on that pitch. Just couldn't catch his hands up to it.
Now Lawson Harrell. We mentioned the Big South Player of the Year this year with Campbell. And his numbers speak for themselves, as we've talked about. Today has reached twice, 1 for 1 officially. Had a walk last time up. That was a big part of the Wareham 3-run come from behind effort that we saw them have in the third. Going 1-2-2 in consecutive innings here, except for the first inning, scoring 0, but it's been 3 consecutive innings of runs across the plate for the Gatemen. 2-0 now from Highfill. Shakes his head yes to Heyman, now delivers behind in the count. Fastball upstairs, left it there, did Harrell, and it's 3-0 to the right fielder of Wareham.
Just trying to settle back in. Got to start with 1.
Out of the stretch, finds a pitch. That's a fastball, and that's a strike, low and away. Good call there at 90. Nobody aboard here for Highfill. With an out here in the inning. Behind in the count, the pitch. Same pitch, same result. Strike on the play. It's 2-2. Should be 3-2, though, as the scoreboard here is a little behind on it. Home plate umpire showing us 3-2. That's what I have here on my book. Got caught napping there looking at the scoreboard. The 3-2. Did he go? No, he did not. A check swing on the slider in the dirt. It leads to another walk to Harrell, and he's 3 for 3 in terms of finding a way to get on base with 2 walks.
Definitely making an impression in his first appearance in this series between the two, and find his way on base. You can't ask for much more.
Now Tommy Spillane. Big bat over at first base today for Wareham. 2-run single last time for Spillane. But with 2 out here, he's going to have to do a lot of this himself, or at least extend the inning. And what's in there for a strike? There's actually 1 out. I apologize. 1 out here. Good pitch there from Highfill. Finds it for a strike. Has to work out of the stretch. Contending with Harrell standing there at first. He's been religious getting over there at first. Already 3 trips to first base here in this ballgame, and it's only the 5th inning.
This is how you respond from a walk, though. You get ahead in the count 1-2 or 0-2 and just continue to pound the zone.
Still only 1 away. It was a swinging strikeout to Caulfield to lead off this bottom of the 5th for the Gatemen. Highfill from the stretch delivers. Fastball up, left it there. Heyman liked the spot. He pointed back to his right-hander on the throwback. Sometimes you see that a lot. Catchers get up a little bit there to receive that one, tempting it. You can throw the high fastball. You just don't want it in the high part of the zone. You almost want it just up a little bit higher, up a notch.
Yeah, if you can elevate it just above the letters, it makes it that much harder to catch up to.
That one, though, way too high. Had Highfill kind of on the release there, realizing that one was way too high. Tommy Spillane had to duck his head. From 0-2 now, it's 2-2. A ground ball would do it. The middle infield favoring the left side. Gavin Keelan, normal shortstop depth. With Travis Bazzana tight to that second base bag. The pitch Slicing foul over the dugout of Falmouth will do the 2-2 again.
Spillane has really showed why he is in the middle of this order for Wareham all night long. He's just continuing to battle. Already got the 2 hits. Looking for more.
Grant Hussey awaits on deck. 0-2 is Hussey, another big bat. These two guys right here providing a lot of the offensive outbursts for this Gatemen team. Same pitch on the fastball, same result. It slices foul over the dugout of the Doors. Could be a souvenir for some youngsters here gathered at Spillane as the sun on its way down here setting as we're approaching the 8 o'clock hour. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Beautiful night for baseball here. Good to hopefully get into a consistent rhythm of playing baseball. It's been the fog delay, the rain cancellation. It's been every other here. The 2-2. Fastball sent over the press box and foul again. Heads up to the cars over there. One just slammed on the brakes as that baseball went hopping into the street. Nearly cracked a windshield.
Got close. Always got to have your head on a swivel when you're out near the ballpark.
Well, that's heads up right there if I've ever seen it from the driver. Baseball's coming over your back, basically driving away from Spillane Field, and you see a ball land in the street there. Nice eye. 2-2 in the dirt. Yanked that breaking pitch, never had a chance. And again, a really good battle here against Highfill. Some light activity in the bullpen of the Commodores. Still can't quite tell, though. Underneath the advertisements in the chain link fence, you can see a lot of feet moving back there, but no bodies and no jersey numbers. Highfill here, the 3-2 pitch. Thrown up in on the infield. There will be a play on this one. Gavin Keelan coasting into short left. He'll make the play himself, and that is a big second out.
You win the battle. That's all you can ask for.
Surely more pitches than maybe Highfill wanted. As you see more pitches, it's safe to say that that benefits the batter.
Definitely, because you allow yourself to get in a spot where they've seen it again and again. They know how your pitch moves. They know how it comes in, how quickly it comes in, and are able to more decipher patterns as well. That's kind of on the catcher in that spot to continue to mix it up and call good pitches. And credit to the Doors. They were able to win that one.
Now it's Grant Hussey as a base runner aboard with 2 away. First pitch, slowed it down, the slider, getting the front side of the zone for a strike. Hussey trying to join his teammates with all these hits. He's 0-2 today. Has 17 knocks and 61 tries entering today's action. 279 on the average. Highfill lifts his leg and fires. He spiked that one in the dirt. Maybe the changeup there, just never really got a good feel for it. That one only traveled about 50 feet. I mean, that thing was just caught up in literally the edge of the grass towards that home plate area. But a good block nonetheless by Heyman. It's 1-1. Trying to find a way to put up a 0 here are the Doors defensively. Big swing and a miss on the fastball right down the middle. Good result for Highfill, who finds himself 1 strike away from his first 0 defensively. Could also be his last inning of work here. Maybe wanting to turn it over to a different arm as we move on throughout this ball game. Highfill look over back to first to see Harrell extending his primary lead. A lift of the leg in the pitch. What a take. Fastball off the plate. It missed. Makes it 2-2. Sebastian Murillo awaits on deck. Has an RBI and a base hit that he came to score on last time up. Makes it 2-2. The Doors trying to strand the runner here. The offering. Driven on a line. Out there into left. Turley camps under it and makes the play about 15 feet in front of the left field fence. Maybe not how you drew it up, but nonetheless, a 0 put up. And that works for the Commodores, who move on to the 6th inning in an 8-5 ball game for the good guys. And when we come back, Zach Serdenik takes the lead on play-by-play here on the Commodores Radio Network.
We're through 5 at Spillane. It's 8-5. Doors in front. Couple of 4-run innings back in the 3rd and the 4th to help Falmouth take this lead over the Gatemen. And we're glad you joined us. Got the last 4 coming to you from Wareham. I'm Zach Schrenk alongside Matt Venezia, Destiny Sanchez along with us, and Brennan Capozzi on the graphics for us tonight. Bringing you Falmouth Commodores baseball on the road. 2, 3, 4 in the order to face Brett Wozniak, who's out for yet another inning of work after replacing Yul Tejeda. The first pitch is the changeup to Bazana outside. It's 1-0. Lefty working from the windup and misses upstairs. He's fallen behind Bazana 2-0. Oregon State Beaver working on a 1-for-3 day. Singleton scored back in the 3rd. 2-0 does catch the zone. That fastball on the outside edge. It's 2-1.
I like to see Bazana there shaking his head yes as he watched that changeup on the outer third. He's seen the ball so well.
Shoots that one down the line into right field, a base hit. Getting to it quickly is Harrell. That will hold Bazana at first, but another multi-hit game. 6 of his last 7 multi-hit performances from Travis Bazana.
Well, thank you, Travis, for making me look smart up here, saying that he's seeing the ball so well. Shaking his head yes, seeing that changeup off the plate, 2-0. He's expecting pitches, and he swings at them and delivers. That one roped into right. You mentioned it right there. 6 of 7, and the last one's been multi-hit efforts. That's not normal, yet the Aussies making it look like that to lead off this inning.
DeBarge pops the first pitch fastball back out of play. It's 0-1. Kyle DeBarge has an RBI single, walked and scored in the 4th, and then that line out back in the 1st. He's seeing it well today. Sends that one on a line to center, but a lot more room out there as McLean dances over to it to retire DeBarge for out number 1.
I stayed with that low changeup there. Just got the bat on it to line it to McLean. And he got all of it. I mean, just lines it out there. You mentioned a lot of room out there. You can hit it pretty sharply and pretty well. That was 92 off the bat. But a lot of room, as you mentioned, for that first out.
Here's Tyler McGregor, the big first baseman, stepping in from that left side. Lefty-lefty matchup. Takes high inside on the fastball to start off the at-bat. It's 1-0. Bazana has good speed at first base, set the Oregon State single-season stolen bases record, as well as the single-game stolen bases record. Swiped 5 bags in a game for the Beavers earlier this year. McGregor takes a breaking ball on the inside edge to even up the count. Holding Bazana on over at first is Tommy Spillane. A couple of Pac-12 players over there at first base. Arizona Wildcat holding on the Beaver. McGregor with a slow chopper first base side, and it rolls foul. He was hustling down the line, but Wozniak picks it up just on the outside of that first baseline. Bazana heads back to first, and a 1-2 count now to McGregor.
I just topped that one there. Inside to the lefty there. Looked to be that breaking ball, just kind of fighting it off. And again, kind of a weird alignment with the infield here and that foul line along the grass. Just hoping for it to dance along there, but in respect to the Commodores, they've had good luck with that happening today. A couple of baseballs are being base hits here on the infield dirt.
A beautiful night in Wareham. As a ground ball to first, Spillane will send it over to short. A relay not in time from Sebastian Murillo. Murillo was asking about the slide from Bazana. He was looking for an interference call, but Bazana will head back, and McGregor is safe at first base. And now Ryan Smythe wants to talk about that slide as well. I definitely don't think it was dirty. Bazana immediately got up and was checking to make sure Murillo was okay. Murillo wasn't really interested in that conversation. He was trying to get that other out. But the question is, was it illegal?
Now Murillo right now kind of in the motion right now, talking to his second baseman, Caulfield, saying, yeah, I was able to deliver that ball pretty sharply, but the conversation nonetheless happening right in front of us. But nonetheless, as this one will stand, obviously, just wanting to get confirmation on that. A chopper to the opposite side of the infield, this time making the first baseman Spillane have to make a play, just top that fastball there in the zone. 3-6-1 fielder's choice. McGregor, again, we talk about him being 6'3", 215. He's got good speed. I mean, he really moves and can get down there, you're not going to double him up a lot on those slow ground balls in the infield, and he shows us why right there.
Luke Heyman with a big cut on the first pitch hitter from Wozniak. McGregor's over at first, Heyman in the box. Florida Gator had his first hit as a Commodore back in the second inning. Strikeout in a double play ball sense. Takes outside. That one leaks away. Good sink type action. The arm side run on the fastball from Wozniak, who works from the stretch, and he works quickly from the stretch. Gets another swing and a miss. Heyman right over the top of it at 85 and a 1-2 count.
Just waiting for him, one of the other young bats in a big Power 5 program. 12 home runs, 59 RBIs. Once he gets going, like we saw Bazana, the Doors will be in a good spot.
Takes again outside. 2-2 count now to Heyman. Wozniak works third base side from the stretch. Rocks himself set at the chest. Delivers. Hard ground ball back up the middle of base hit. McGregor cruises into second. Heyman to first. He's got a multi-hit game. And the Doors with 2 on and 2 away for Cade Snell.
You got to put it where they're not, and that's right on line with the second base bag. Double play, not in order because there's 2 outs, so the infield's in normal depth, and that chopper only 77 off the bat. But when you chop it like that up the middle, it's tough for Murillo and Caulfield to get there and make a play on it. And a couple of funny base hits here given to the credit of Heyman for his 2 hits as a Commodore, and sometimes it doesn't matter.
Snell sends it down the line. A diving stop by Spillane. The race to the bag is won by Wozniak. Brian Tomasini immediately unhappy with that call, and so is Cade Snell. But the Gatemen escape the jam unscathed. We head to the bottom of the 6th, 8-5. Falmouth in front, right here on the Commodores Radio Network. Bottom of the order, due up for the Gatemen. Trailing by 3, the Doors in control, 8-5. In the bottom of the 6th from Spillane, Sebastian Murillo steps in. He's got a sac fly and a single. To this point, he'll see Sam Highfill, who's back out for yet another inning of work after relieving Rio Britton, who went 2 2/3, giving up 3 runs, all of them, for the most part, based on his walks that he gave up in that last inning. Highfill fires in a fastball at 90 miles an hour to start off Sebastian Murillo. The Georgia Bulldog digging in from that right side against the righty Highfill. Works from the windup. Breaking ball popped up a mile high and pulled foul down the third base line, and it's quickly 0-2.
Better location on that breaking ball there. It's up, but it's away. It slides off the plate there away from that swing path of the barrel there, and that's why it gets popped up. You can work in those locations off the plate.
0-2, spins one away from Murillo, who lays off it, sets up a 1-2 count.
But we've seen some from Highfield that start inside to these right-handed hitters and then come back over the middle. That's where you get in trouble. That's where you can live all day.
1-2 fastball, check swing, yes he did. Murillo goes down. Yet another strikeout for Highfield, his fourth and the first out of the bottom of the sixth.
Kind of a funny way to go with the check swing there. It's a fastball off the plate, so it's not like he got buckled. It was more just, do I think this is going to be in or not? And that one's hugging the black according to the strike zone here with the TrackMan setup. I think probably gets called either way for that first strikeout.
Rene Lastris takes a big bender for a called strike. It's 0-1. Infield playing him to pull, especially up the middle with Bazana and Keelan. McGregor still playing pretty close to that bag over at first. Fastball firm in at 91 for a called strike, and back-to-back hitters that Highfield's ahead 0-2.
Sam's really been hitting the corners here. He's working really, really effectively hitting spots here over these past couple of innings. Haven't seen that. This inning, though, looks very, very different.
0-2 elevates it, and Lastris lays off it. Headed to play at UNC Charlotte next year. So the former Gator will be a 49er. Good year for Charlotte this season, making a regional once again. 1-2. Swung on and missed. It gets the backstop. Heyman gets to it. The throw down does get Lastris, who didn't realize right away that he had come up empty on that. Heard run, run, run from the dugout and from the coaches. Took off, but a good strong throw from a not easy spot, throwing all the way from the backstop, was Heyman.
Just made a funny sound, but worked him backwards there with three fastballs. 93 is the hottest we've seen from Highfield. He's reaching back there and letting the flamethrower cook. That time there, I mean, it kind of sounded like from up here that maybe the handle of the bat got a piece of that. I'm not quite sure, but again, the infield nearly saved him there, reaching on base. But not enough credit due given to Heyman. He had to reach back there and run. He got a delayed start at it too, and he delivered a strike. Really good throw on the inside part or outside foul territory there on the stretch from McGregor to make that second out.
Sherrod came up empty, swinging at a first pitch breaking ball. Now sees a fastball up, and it's even 1-1. Sherrod with that two-run blast back in the fourth. That made it 8-5. That's where we stand right now in the bottom of the sixth. Highfield from the windup. 1-1. Spins it back in for a called strike. The inside edge, a lot of break on that slider. Makes it 1-2. Sherrod digging back in. Spartan out of USC Upstate. 1-2. Takes a fastball just low to even up the count.
I mean, all of these pitches are literally right on the corners. I mean, Sam Highfield, it's like he's playing a game of darts up there. And you can live with those ones being off the plate and not called for a strike. You live there often enough, you're going to get those calls.
A break even from Highfield. Misses outside with the slider. And Sherrod has worked it all the way full.
A really good take there. That one trying to come back in on the inside part of the plate. Can't get the front door. You got to work now, though. You don't want to give up a two-out base runner.
The payoff pitch. Misses outside and gives up a walk. After being ahead 1-2, Grant Sherrod finds himself at first base. The lineup card flips over to Bobby Bozier.
Gave him another slider there. Trying to paint the inside, not getting it. It's a really, really good effort by Highfield. Really good pitches here. And again, we thought it may have been it for him. But again, when, as you said, Zach, 11 games in 11 days, you got to save your arms. You're expecting a lot out of Highfield. And for what it's worth, you still have the lead with him pitching. You'll take that.
Fastball to Bozier is a called strike on the outer edge. To start him off, it's 0-1. Bobby Bozier 0 for 3 to this point. Has had one AV against Highfield, and he grounded out to the shortstop, Gavin Keelan. Two-step lead off of first. Called strike on the fastball. Sherrod does have pretty good speed over at first base. We'll see if the Gatemen try to put him in motion or just leave him over at first. In this 0-2 count to Bozier. Deep breath. And the leg kick from Highfield. The 0-2. Strike three called. Paints the outside edge, and Bozier will have to make the turn back to the dugout. A 2-out walk, but nothing more for Wareham in the 6th. It's 8-5, Doors in front, headed to the 7th from Spillane. New pitcher for the 7th inning in Wareham for the Gatemen. It's Jake Faraday.
Yeah, Faraday has been used several times this summer for the Gatemen. Appearance number 6 coming up. Been used 6 innings, 8 strikeouts to 5 walks, compared to a very blown up ERA that he had at Arkansas this year. Only one appearance, a 40.5 ERA. Only used in 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 3 runs. All of them earned and only struck out a batter in that appearance. So you like to see he's getting more opportunities here on the summer in the Cape League. He's provided some length for this group for Wareham, trying to find its pitching.
He'll face the bottom of the Falmouth order. Starts with Gavin Keelan in the 7 spot. Pops one straight up and out of play on the first base side. Sends a race. Get that baseball from a few of the kids out here at Spillane. There's a lot of people here for this game on a Tuesday night in Wareham. Gavin Keelan 0 for 3 tonight. Hit a couple of balls hard, though, trying to change that line here. Takes the fastball upstairs. It's 1-1. Verity, big righty. Native of Georgetown, Kentucky. Takes that deep breath and the high leg kick. Delivers low with the breaking ball, and Keelan lays off it. It's 2-1. Got a Kentucky native facing a Louisville Cardinal who plays his collegiate ball in Kentucky. Infield deep across the diamond to Keelan, who stands in from that left side. Bounces the bat off the left shoulder as he awaits the delivery from Faraday. The 2-1 is popped up. This one in play. Murillo calling for it. He'll make the catch on the infield for out number 1.
He's got jammed there. Fastball inside there to the lefty and Gavin Keelan. It's funny. Bobby Bozer, look over to his teammate there on the left side of the infield, got called off by the shortstop there, almost like he rolled his eyes there, and that's just how it goes sometimes in those balls that could go either way, but first out picked up.
Well, and I was going to say infield dirt map, but it's not dirt here. It's a stone dust surface, as they call it. Kind of gives almost like a gravel type look on the infield, with the exception of the pitcher's mound and home plate. as those are the normal dirt color and dirt surface.
From what I understand, that's a recent upgrade to the field. The mound and the home plate area have previously been that same stone dust kind of material.
It's a unique feel here at Spillane, but that's how it is. First fastball had some zip on it from Faraday to start off Gavin Turley for a called strike. Second one, Turley sends his bat flying, and that just hit the school. And I think just broke the window on the school.
Wow. Haven't seen that yet. Gavin Turley requesting his bat back from a youngster. The same guy who got that foul ball previously right behind us. What a day for him. It's not the major leagues where you get to keep that bat. Gavin Turley would request to keep that baseball bat, or else he's going to have to go run down to the nearest sporting goods to grab a new one. His bat looks to be okay, checking on it in the box.
I'm sure it's a little better than the window is. Window's got a dent in it right now. On the school building behind us. Either way, it's 0-2 to Turley. He takes high. Keep the at-bat going. Breaking ball at 81 makes it 1-2. You never know what you're going to see here in the Cape League. Come out here, every day is a new day at the ballpark. Faraday working exclusively from the stretch, working first base side, slightly open with that front leg as he comes set. Bounces in another breaking ball. Turley lays off, it's 2-2. He's been behind in each of his last two ABs, both of them walks. Able to get on base a pair of times tonight. Trying to get his bat going in this order for the Doors. Seems to be the one guy so far that hasn't had that going as of late, but all the potential in the world to get hot. And the sky is the limit for Mr. Turley. 2-2, takes outside, much to the dismay of this crowd here in Wareham, but that pitch was out.
I mean, right now, it is being brought up there on the mound by Faraday, 95. To be able to take it confidently like that as a freshman, just finishing your freshman year, speaks volumes to Gavin Turley.
Payoff pitch. Big swing and a miss. Turley loses the bat again. And he strikes out. Heads up over there. Never know what you're going to see, and that means you've always got to have the head on the swivel.
I'm just happy everyone's okay. I mean, people are laughing down there, but I mean, that thing's like a flying helicopter going loose there. Everyone okay in the viewing area here along the third base line. I guess the safest spot to be is in the shark tank that we have here to avoid a flying barrel like that.
You would hope so. Big swing on a first pitch to Tab Tracy that's over the heart of the plate. But he comes up empty. It's 0-1. Tracy has gotten to first base in each of his three plate appearances, but technically 1 for 3. Single, reached on an error, and a fielder's choice. Some more zip on the fastball. Gets it to 1-1 as it stays upstairs. A ton of life on that pitch. It's going to carry through the zone with such a high spin rate, up near 2,800 on that heater. And what that's going to do is it's going to just continue to look like it's not dropping as much, and it almost gives the illusion of it rising to the hitter. Fastball just misses low, and it's 2-1.
I mean, there's so many people in on the metrics and things like that and what you look at. Some people only in on the miles per hour, what these guys throw. But that's why the technology, so many teams are into that stuff. Major league teams with scouts here just trying to see how guys work.
Tracy back up the middle. Backhand play at second. The throw won't get him, though. Nice job by Caulfield to give himself a chance. But Tracy legs out an infield single, his second hit of the day, and it flips the lineup card over with 2 outs.
That's 89. Looked like it slowed down there on the lower part of the zone. We talked about Tab Tracy only having now 3 starts in the month of July. Well, I'll tell you what, he's making good use of being in and out. I mean, he is certainly fighting here. Reached all 4 times today, 2 of them being hits. I mean, that's your 9-man in the order. And again, there's no 9-man in the Cape Cod League, but Tab Tracy, for a guy who spent a lot of the time here recently watching his teammates play, he's making good use of when he gets on the field.
Now you get John Spikerman, homered from the right side of the plate earlier in the game. Now standing in from the left side against the righty and Faraday.
It's so cool to see him take batting practice, take a couple of pitches from the right side, step away, walk across home plate, get in there on the left side, getting comfortable from both areas.
Tracy went to take off. Faraday gets him as Faraday stepped off the bag as Tracy took off, kind of lobbed it in. They slapped the tag on him, and Tracy doesn't agree, but he'll head back to the dugout for out number 3. John Spikerman will have to continue that at bat in the 8th. It's time to stretch a 3-run lead for Falmouth from Wareham. We made sure to stretch up here. We hope you guys did at home because we've got an exciting finish coming up from Spillane Field, an 8-5 ball game headed to the bottom of the 7th, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Doors. It's Hunter Hodges.
Hunter Hodges out of TCU, third appearance on the summer. The Horned Frog, we saw him in the win against Chatham 13-4. That was his best outing, 2 innings. Walked 3 batters, but struck out 4. Then against Katuitt, gave up a hit. Came in relief there at the very end of the ball game. Didn't give up any runs, at least to his line. Struck out 1. So he's been very clean. No runs given up just yet. 5 strikeouts over 4 walks, though. He's going to try to get through these innings a little bit cleaner against the best offense here on the Cape.
Got the middle of the order for that offense as well. Nick McLean will lead things off this inning. The switch hitting center fielder out of Arizona State. Getting ready to get into the box. He hasn't put a ball in play yet today. A couple of strikeouts and a walk. Did come around to score on that walk back in the 3rd. The Doors in front 8-5. All 8 of their runs coming in 2 innings. A pair of 4-run frames. 4 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th. And the Gatemen with 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. And since then, a lot of zeros, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, outside of what we saw Highfill coming in after Rio Britton, kind of the first 2 innings there were a little shaky, but he came in with the strikeouts you mentioned. I mean, 6 strikeouts from Sam Highfill in relief. I mean, don't get it twisted. There may have been 5 runs given up here by this Falmouth defense, but 10 strikeouts on the pitching staff.
First pitch of the outing from Hodges is a fastball that misses low. It's 1-0 to McLean. Switch hitter batting from the right side and ropes that one down the line. Is it going to have enough? It will. Keeps it just inside the foul pole. Nick McLean with his 4th long ball this summer. And the Doors lead is cut to 2.
Try to get a fastball by him, middle, not going to work. I've seen that swing too many times from the left side. The Sun Devil clears the wall in right field with ease. Nick McLean continues to rake that 290 average. You said, Zach, he was just, coming down to earth just a little bit, but my goodness, McLean, man, that guy can swing it, and he does it right there. And again, you said we got a tight finish. It just got a little bit closer. It's 8-6.
The Doors holding that 2-run lead as Garen Caulfield steps up to face Hodges. Hodges spinning off the mound as he released that breaking ball. It bounced in front of Luke Heyman and bounced all the way to the backstop. As Caulfield steps in, same line for him that McLean had entering that at bat. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but walked and scored in the 3rd. Another breaking ball from Hodges, and it spins outside, 2-0. Caulfield, that wide stance from the right side. Righty Hodges comes set at the belt. Deep breath and the high leg kick. 2-0 fastball upstairs. It's 3-0.
You got to be real careful if you're Hunter Hodges here. Missing there with the fastball. Not a bad spot on the corner. Up and in, but nonetheless, you got 4, 5, 6 due up here. Still trying to find an out and already 1 in here.
3-0 misses high. 4-pitch walk after the home run. And the tying run to the plate for the Gatemen in the 7th.
Just not close with that one at all. Standing up there to receive it, Luke Heyman, just a couple of fastballs, just trying to get a rhythm for that pitch right now to set up, whether it be a change of speed or even the breaking stuff that we see from Hunter Hodges. He's got a good arsenal. I mean, he throws well. He's one of the better pitchers on the staff for TCU. It's only used in 14 innings this year and had a sub-3 ERA. Pitched 2 appearances in the tournament. I mean, he's played big-time baseball, and I've been impressed with him up to this point. Just got to find a way to settle down.
Fires in a fastball to start off the at-bat to Lawson Harrell. There's a pinch runner at first base as well. Dorian Gonzalez entering in as that runner. Got a 3-step lead being held on by McGregor. Long hold from Hodges. Right leg kick. The 0-1. Check swing. And he did go around. It's 0-2. Really good curveball there from Hodges. Spun that thing straight into the ground. Over 3,000 on the spin rate. And it's 0-2.
Well, that's how it drops so much. Trying to do some science at home. I mean, the more spin you get on the baseball with those seams, it can have a life of its own and move the way it just did.
0-2 fastball outside, snagged there by Heyman. It's 1-2. Got Gonzalez over at first. And Harrell at the plate is the tying run. 1 for 1 with a pair of walks. 1-2 bounces in, takes the hop off of Heyman. He'll come up and bluff the throw as Gonzalez cruises in, standing up to second. Wild pitch moves up the runner, and here comes Heyman to talk with Hunter Hodges.
Yeah, that one not particularly close at all. Easy decision to move on there by Dorian Gonzalez. He's so fast, but that one's not particularly close, and just trying to settle down his picture as we mentioned. But that breaking ball, I mean, you could kind of hear the clank of the helmet there of the, having a block that you throw your body on the line there, sliding to your left. It sounded like it redirected and got the siding of that hockey-style mask that Heyman wears, and that rings you a little bit. So if nothing else, just giving himself a chance to kind of wear that one off a little bit.
Still nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. The Doors now clinging to a 2-run lead. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Big bounce-back punch-out from Hunter Hodges for the first out of the inning.
Well, you're not out of the woods, but that's good for confidence in trying to maneuver through the rest of this inning. Slows it down on him there. Took something off of it on that 89 there. Change-up pitch. Getting a big cut and a miss from Harrell. Now you see Tommy Spillane. He beat you with a 2-run single back in the 3rd with Rio Britton. Already has 2 hits today as well.
Couple of big power bats, the next 2 in the order for the Gatemen in Spillane and Hussey on a warm July night at Spillane Field. Fastball cut on and missed to start off the at-bat at 93.
Well, that's a challenge me pitch. Here it is. First pitch. Let's do this thing with the tying run in the box. Fastball up and in at 93. For now, Hodges winning that battle on the 0-1 now.
Gonzalez, the walking lead off the second, being held on by Bazana. 0-1 elevates the fastball again. It's tipped into the glove, this time up to 94 from Hodges.
You can tell he's feeling a little bit of the swagger after that strikeout. Hottest we've seen Hodges touch today. Approaching the mid-90s fastball. That works. But now you set up the chance to go to a lot of other options.
Still working from the stretch. Doors playing Spillane to pull. Mazzana shaded up the middle and is holding on the runner, and a pitch clock violation called on Hodges. So now it's 1-2. Seen that a few times, especially from Jacob Smith a couple of games ago, had a couple of pitch clock violations in his Commodores debut back against Katuitt on the 6th.
That was a really good debut, too, in that outing.
A lot of the debuts recently have been really strong from the Doors. 1-2, low and outside. Spun the breaking ball away from it. It's 2-2.
Don't mind that pitch selection. Don't get beat on a breaking ball like that in a count where you're expecting it. Just show it to him, and if he swings at it, that works too. But now you set up. It's 2-2. You got to get back in the zone here, and might find a challenge pitch here.
Break even, blows it by him with the heater. Back-to-back punch-outs for Hunter Hodges. And the Doors with a chance to get out of this inning with the lead still intact.
Well, you want a challenge pitch? There it is, 92. Big cut and a miss. Really late on it was Tommy Spillane. I don't think he was expecting that one. Slow walk back to this dugout here. And again, the staff of the Falmouth Commodores today is doing it. 12 strikeouts on this Gatemen offense, which has the most swinging strikeouts offensively out of any team in Cape Cod. These guys swing, and they swing a lot. They bring in runs, but they also go back to the dugout on 3 strikes.
Grant Hussey swinging on the first pitch and pops it out of play. It's 0-1. Hodges has found that control with the fastball and has continued to pound it over these last couple of at-bats. Gonzalez still stands at second. He was the pinch runner for Garen Caulfield, who worked the walk in the 7th. And that started this rally, or at least the second part of it, after the Nick McLean solo shot to lead off this bottom of the 7th inning. 0-1. Check swing on the breaking ball. Appeal down. Did not go around. Evens it up. It's 1-1.
We've seen previous at bat, you go 2 fastballs to start. That time he slows it down, goes with that curveball. He's trying to work differently here, not giving too many looks. And again, when you're taking on Grant Hussey, you have to be inconsistent with your delivery.
1-1. Just misses inside. It's a 2-1 count. Hodges giving a couple of looks back to Gonzalez, but not a ton, as he continues to get that walking lead off of second base. Heyman has a good arm and a clear throw with a left-handed hitter up. Fastball fouled back to the screen, and it's 2-2.
I mean, after you give up the solo shot and the walk on 4 pitches, the way that Hodges has settled himself back in, it's all because of finding that fastball that allows you to work other pitches and get out of this with minimal damage. 1 pitch away.
Hodges comes set at the belt. The 2-2. Strike 3 called. Breaking ball at the top of the zone. Freezes Hussey. And 3 straight punch outs. After the tough start to the outing for Hodges, he gets out of it with Falmouth still in front, 8-6, headed to the 8th. We're headed to the 8th in Falmouth and Wareham, but that's not the only game going on around the Cape. Destiny Sanchez has the rest of the scores for you.
Thanks, Zach. The YD Red Sox defeated the Harwich Mariners 6-2. The Orleans Firebirds defeated the Brewster Whitecaps 8-4. And the Katuitt Kettleers lead the Hyannis Harborhawks 11-1 in the bottom of the 8th.
Thank you, Destiny. That Katuitt Hyannis game in the West Division One that's a little interesting. When we last saw it earlier today, Matt, it was 1-0 Hyannis, and the Harbor Hawks were feeling really good about the way they had been playing over the last few days. Thought they might get one against the division leaders, but Cavaliers flexing their muscles a little bit and dominating that game through the middle and later parts.
Yeah, we've seen the same outcome firsthand, and Katuitt finding a way to be the juggernaut offensively that team has been this year, running away right now in that West Division. It's 17-7 record. That'll do you best there at the top. 34 points already. Born behind, though, by only 5 points right now, Zach. I mean, 29 points on the year for the team that for a good little while, maybe around the first quarter of the way through the season, was down in last place. The Braves have turned it around.
Yeah, the Braves have been playing some of the best baseball on the Cape, right up there with the Falmouth Commodores, who are 2 innings away from winning 8 of 10, Matt.
Well, when you win your first 3 of 15, I mean, you just don't expect those kinds of things to happen. You expect to get hot. I mean, you expect that at some point something's got to give with this lineup, and it is giving very graciously in this stretch for the Commodores, who are trying to hold on here with 6 more outs needed defensively and trying to find a way to maybe add some more insurance.
It'll start with the top of the order, and John Spikerman already has 2-run homer in this game. It takes the first pitch fastball from Jake Faraday outside, who's back out for his second inning of work. This is his 6th appearance, and the longest so far that he's went was 2 innings. Gatemen trying to get him through a second inning right now. 1-0 swing, and Spikerman skies it out to right. It's deep, but not going to be deep enough as Harrell tracks it down in front of the wall in right center for out number 1.
Well, Spike took 94 pretty far, 90 off the bat. Probably need about 340 to carry right center there. That one goes about 330-ish. But nonetheless, I mean, get on a heater and it'll go a long way. Spike's been seeing the ball very, very well, and that's what you like to see with him back there at the top of the order.
Speaking of seeing the ball well, Travis Pizzana steps in. Already a couple of hits today. Takes high and outside on a first pitch fastball. It's 1-0. Native of Sydney, Australia, paving the way from that Australian baseball that's just continuing to grow down there in that culture. Standing in from the left side. 1-0, big swing and a miss. Comes up empty on that elevated fastball.
Yeah, Pizzana's just been playing real good baseball here. A lot of people think he could be up there at the very tippy top of the Major League draft next season. One of the very best prospects nationally.
Called strike. The outside edge, it's 1-2. Got some real electric prospects at the top of that draft. Jack Haglione, Vance Honeycutt, and Travis Pizzana has to be towards the top of that list. Faraday comes set at the belt. Deep breath, the 1-2. Bounces in and sends Pizzana jumping out of the way of it. It's 2-2. Dwayne Gonzalez stayed in the game at second base after replacing Caulfield as the pinch runner. Faraday brings his glove high over his head as he comes set now at the belt. 2-2, high and tight. Pizzana, little matrix action, backing out of the way of that one, and the count's full. Another good at bat at the top of this order from a Falmouth bat. Faraday gets the sign from Lostris behind the plate. The payoff pitch. Pop foul out of play. Pizzana wanted that one. You could hear him frustrated that he didn't get more of it, but he stays alive.
Just off the plate there. I mean, that's that breaking ball a little bit. Just being used nicely there with Faraday trying to put him away there in the far third of the plate. But Pizzana, even if he didn't get it, he still fights. He sees the baseball, and he'll spoil other ones to get good chances.
Another payoff pitch. He comes up empty at this one. It's the breaking ball again, but it's elevated up above the letters from Faraday. Pizzana goes down swinging for out number 2.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that one. Just dropping one, starting up in the zone. According to our numbers here at StatCast, didn't even come back to the zone that break, but nonetheless, Pizzana went up the ladder, came up empty. That's 2 outs here in the 8th.
Hoping to keep it alive, it's Kyle DeBarge. Third baseman plays his college ball at Louisiana. Little Southeast United States battle between the Arkansas Razorback and the Louisiana Raging Cajun. As the first pitch, fastball misses outside at 94. DeBarge, a couple of runs scored today, an RBI single in the third, walked and scored in the fourth. Faraday, right leg kick. 1-1. Firm fastball that stays low and out. 2-0 to DeBarge. Cleanup man Tyler McGregor looms on deck in an 8-6 ball game. Doors looking for some insurance and looking to respond after the solo shot to lead off the bottom of the seventh from Nick McLean. The 2-0. Same pitch, same spot, same result, and it's 3-0 to Kyle DeBarge.
Just good takes. None of them have really been all that threatening.
Faraday takes a deep breath as he brings himself set. The 3-0. Fastball up and a 4-pitch walk to Kyle DeBarge keeps the inning alive, and Tyler McGregor will get a crack at the Arkansas righty.
Well, the Gatemen today have beaten you with a couple of opportunities when you walk batters with 2 out. Now you present the chance to sort of do the same, and you get your 4 guy in the lineup to see an opportunity with a runner aboard here in the 8th inning. It might be against a different arm, though.
No call to the bullpen just yet. At this point, just a meeting on the mound, as they'll talk some things over on the rubber. McGregor getting himself ready to continue his day. Couple of runs batted in for the Northeastern Husky. An RBI single in the fourth, had the sac fly in the third. That helped put Falmouth in front. Doors have not relinquished that lead to this point. Trying to make it last 2 more innings and get out of Wareham and back over the bridge with a win.
Yeah, we talked about the makeup with the Brewster Whitecaps tomorrow, but then you see some divisional matchup against the Bourne Braves, a team that's had your number this year aside from the tie. They like to build some confidence in the West Division.
Fastball high off the glove of Lostris and all the way back to the backstop. Allows DeBarge to cruise into second. Runner in scoring position as the Doors look for that insurance. Wide open stance from the left side from McGregor. Angles that bat over the left shoulder. Righty Faraday spins the ball in his hand as he gets the sign and now brings himself set. One look back to second, the 1-0. Fastball hit on the ground the other way. Murillo dives. He'll keep it on the infield. That holds DeBarge at third. A single from McGregor, but some fine glove work from Sebastian Murillo saves a run.
We've seen McGregor hustle down the baseline there. You'd think that one was going to get through, and a similar result, just putting one along the left side of the infield. Sebastian Murillo was booking it, though, into that short left center field grass. And like you said, Zach, if he doesn't make that play there on his backhand, it's at 9-6 for the Doors. That's big for the time being for the Gatemen. But you give a chance to Luke Heyman, who's got 2 hits himself.
He's got 2 of the now 13 hits for Falmouth. Luke Heyman will get a shot, but it won't be against Jake Faraday. New arm coming to the mound for Wareham. Give you the details on the Gateman pitcher when we come back. Jake Faraday gives way to Will Koger out of Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville arm here. The Cardinal and Will Koger. 7th appearance on the Cape, 1-1 with a 3.0 ERA over 6 games, 12 innings of work. So I got 11 batters, hasn't been used since July 6th. That was a 9-8 win for the Gatemen against Bourne. But at Louisville, went 2-1, sub-5 ERA over 24 innings pitched. He's used the baseball a lot. He's been called upon a lot there in the ACC. I'm sure Gavin Keelan, very familiar with this guy, offers, who, in this case in Keelan, would be the third guy to bat should the line continue. But if Koger, I'd imagine, go in the 9th, Keelan will probably see his teammate.
Those are always fun matchups here in the Cape League when you get really good guys against really good guys, but really good guys that know each other really well. We saw a matchup between teammates to start the game in Yolta Hayda against Luke Heyman. Now Luke Heyman gets to face Will Koger with runners on the corners and 2 away. In the top of the 8th inning, Doors trying to add on to an 8-6 lead. It's DeBarge at third, McGregor at first. DeBarge walked, advanced on a wild pitch, and then got to third on the single from McGregor. The first pitch to Heyman is cut on and missed. 93 up at the letters for strike 1.
He brings it, shows you the upstairs fastball. Not being shy about it.
Evening has turned to night here in Wareham. The lights are on, illuminating Spillane Field. 0-1. Heyman pops it straight up. Lostris back on it, and he'll have the play to retire the side. Falmouth gets 2 aboard, but leaves them stranded on the base paths. It's a 2-run advantage heading to the bottom of the 8th from Wareham. Hunter Hodges back out for his second inning of work here in the bottom of the 8th, an 8-6 ball game. And the bottom third of the order, due up to face him, gave up a solo shot to Nick McLean and then walked Garen Caulfield on 4 pitches, but bounced back to strike out the next 3 Gatemen and get himself out of that inning with the lead. He'll now face the Georgia Bulldogs, Sebastian Murillo. Working on 1 for 2 day, also has a sac fly. First pitch, called strike. Fastball at the letters. Just catches the top of the zone to start off this at bat. The Doors have struck out 13 Wareham hitters to this point in the ball game. Hodges definitely with the stuff to make it more. Spikes the breaking ball as it bounces in to even up the count 1-1. Murillo digs back in. Wide stance from the right side. Bends the knees into it. Holds that bat over the right shoulder. Hodges rocks himself set. Right leg kick and fires the slider low and outside. It's 2-1.
couple of these breaking pitches haven't really been all that contestable. You got that borderline fastball called, but you need those other pitches to complement that hot pitch.
Murillo hits one high out to left, fairly deep. Turley is back on it. He'll make the catch about 10 feet in front of the wall. Down the left field line for out number 1.
That one was shot a mile into the air, still traveled pretty deep. Gave Turley enough time there to make the play. That was a fastball off the end of the bat of Murillo. Maybe why that one stays in the yard here, because the swing wasn't all that bad. That's a good first out picked up here. Going to the fastball. We've seen it with the strikeouts. Now you go to it here to get maybe not what you were looking for, but a pop out into left. You'll take it.
Here's the catcher, Rene Lastras. Digging back in, wearing that Florida Gator blue helmet. Takes the first pitch, low and outside from Hodges. It's 1-0. Lastras still looking for his first hit of the ball game. Flew out on a 3-0 pitch that he hit 103 off the bat in the second. A pair of punch-outs since. Lays off of the spinner outside. It's 2-0. Seems comfortable ahead in the count. Has that slightly open stance from the right side. Hands high over the shoulder. Takes a fastball. Catches the outside edge. It's 2-1.
Yeah, there's the slider. Good pitch there. We talked about finding that breaking ball. It's too easy to throw a fastball there 2-0. You make him think about it. They're slowing it down and getting the zone.
2-1 pop back out of play. Hodges right back into it. It's 2-2.
Now he goes with the fastball. Upstairs, middle up. You got to be really on that pitch to catch up to it. And you couldn't catch up to 91. You battle back in this count, 1 strike away from picking up a second out.
The break even from Hodges is the fastball, but it stays way upstairs. And it runs the count full.
Don't mind the pitch. I mean, you want it up. Not that high, though. You need to got to get more control on that one. Because now you have to throw a strike. You don't want the tying run to get a chance.
The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Punches him out on the slider. As Lastras swings through it. And 2 up, 2 down for Hodges. 5 straight retired now. We're here in the bottom of the 8th with that 2-run lead still holding for the Doors.
14 Gatemen strikeouts today in the box for the guys in the dark jerseys tonight. That time slows him down with it. Couldn't locate that high fastball. Takes something off of it here. And gets a really good swing and miss. Way out in front of it with Lastras. And you keep the tying run in the on-deck circle. You don't give the Gatemen a chance to be 1 swing away from tying it up.
First pitch. Grant Sherrod misses outside. He homered back in the 4th inning. Walked in his last plate appearance. And he's working from ahead in the count. Bends the knees, all his weight back as he awaits the pitch from Hodges, who fired the fastball high. It's 2-0. It was 2-0 to Lastras as well before Hodges worked all the way back and punched him out. Trying for an encore right here. Hodges angles that bat over the right shoulder. Hodges fires a fastball outside. The count swelled. Now it's 3-0.
Got to be careful how you work in here. It's Sherrod had the 2-run home run earlier in this game, but then the lineup card flips to the top with Bobby Bozer on deck. You need to be careful. You're behind in the count. You don't want to just give him away here, but you also don't want to give him something where he can hit it.
3-0. Fastball high and outside. A 4-pitch walk. Grant Sherrod. Lineup flips over for Bobby Bozier.
He couldn't locate the fastball there up and in. 4-pitch walk. Second walk we've seen from Hunter Hodges to this point. But he's got the strikeout pitch working, and that's all you need here. You'll certainly take it or a ball at anyone here. But the Gatemen, who have been battling all day, have that tying run in the box right now.
You certainly don't want to see Nick McLean, who's on deck in this inning. First pitch, a big cut from Bobby Bozer, but he comes up empty. It's 0-1. Sherrod has good speed over at first. Working himself with a 3-step lead off the bag. McGregor holding him on. Hodges comes set of the belt. 0-1 fastball high. Heyman jumping out of the stance. Keep that one from getting to the backstop. It's 1-1.
Hasn't had too much of a feel for that high fastball. The other ones have been pretty inconsistent earlier on when he first came in, but has a good feel for the fastball pretty much anywhere when it's not up.
1-1. Outside with the slider, it's 2-1. Bozer stepping back in, 0 for 4 to this point. A ground out, a fly out, and 2 punch outs. Slightly open stance from the right side. The 2-1 is the curveball, and he lays off it. It's a hitter's count, 3-1. Bozer just under that Mendoza line on the summer, 196, but had really good numbers at South Florida this year. 323 average for the Bulls in the American. 3-1 swinging, drills it out to center, but it won't have enough to get out of here as Spikerman runs it down in deep center field. Bozer gave it a ride, but it finds the Commodore glove, and we head to the ninth. 8-6, Falmouth in front on the Commodores Radio Network. Top of the ninth inning in Wareham. The Gatemen and the Commodores, it's an 8-6 game with Falmouth in front. Looking to add on with Cade Snell starting it off against Will Coger. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Doors. Already 8 runs on 13 hits. Does Falmouth have anything left in them at the plate? Won't come on the first pitch. It's a fastball for a called strike to Cade Snell. Really good season at Wallace Community College this year. Headed to Alabama for next season. And he's continued that success into the summer. Pair of hits, pair of runs driven in today. Pops one foul. It's going to get on top of the school building. It's taking a beating behind us, Matt.
Yeah, it is. I mean, whether it be a baseball bat, make it 2, and then the foul balls. Thank God it's not in session right now. Otherwise, you have some pretty scared people in there in the buildings here, especially with the baseball bat. I mean, you could expect the baseballs to be hitting off the roof, but not a bat.
Coger, that high leg kick. 0-2, sent slicing right back towards the other part of the school building. That one getting a little further down the line, but still continuing to pepper that side. The Doors have been late on a few of those fastballs and just spoiling them to stay alive.
Yeah, right now, Coger's bringing it 94 on that one, middle, and still late on it. I mean, that's where you want to get it if you can, especially as a lefty. You got to be on it. Snell, a couple of them fouled off here.
Cade Snell did homer at Spillane the last time these two teams met, the 11-5 Falmouth victory. Runs in and hits his back foot. An 0-2 back foot slider becomes literal instead of figurative there as Snell finds himself aboard.
Well, you'll take it. We talk about needing insurance. Falmouth hasn't scored since back-to-back 4-run innings back in the 4th inning of this game. It's a scary game to play when you try to hold on to a big lead against this Wareham team because the Gatemen score a lot later in ball games and they're never out of it. And 2 runs is certainly not the number you want to take into that 9th inning.
2-3-4 is due up as well. Keelan slices one out to left. Went back on it. First did Sherrod, but he comes in to make the play for out number 1.
So Koger wins the battle against his teammate at Louisville, getting Gavin first pitch swinging a little late on that heater that was below the zone, just a little low there over the middle, but good to see him swing early. That's the first out of this inning, and now Gavin Turley trying to swing it here and keep that baseball bat in his hands.
From one Gavin to another, it's Turley stepping up. Pair of strikeouts, pair of walks for the Oregon State Beaver. Snell, the 3-step lead over at first. Held on by Spillane. First pitch comes in quick at 94, but stays just out to Turley. Lightning quick hands from that right side from Gavin Turley. Has that open stance as he digs in. Stands pretty tall. Stepping off the mound is Koger. He'll reset himself.
I think it was Turley calling for time there and then didn't think he got it, stepped back in the box, and then a plate umpire called time. So everyone's good now, resetting for the 1-0.
1-0 leaks low with another fastball, and Turley ahead in the count 2-0.
I mean, despite the slump that he's in right now, you still have to work against him looking at those numbers he had at Oregon State because all it takes is one for this bat to get going.
Deep breath, and the 2-0 is hit high and out to right. It's slicing away from Harrell. A long run. He'll make the catch in foul territory. Snell trying to tag the relay. Won't get him in time. He moves up into scoring position on the flyout. But 2 away as Will Koger tries to get the Gatemen to the bottom of the 9th, trailing by just 2.
Well, really good hustle by Harrell, first off, on that fastball slicing away towards what appears to be some trees kind of overgrown over a fence area. Because that one keeps slicing, Harrell's still running away from the field of play. When he finally makes that play, a step or two to the right of the right field line, Cade Snell's not the fastest guy in the world, but because all the momentum's taken Harrell away from the baseball field, he can tag from first base the same line of the field as right field is. So really good heads up base running by Snell, and now a base hit gets you a massive insurance run.
Tab Tracy's already got a pair of those today. Looking for a third hit. Takes the first pitch low from Koger. It's 1-0. It's another fastball from the Louisville Cardinal. Sporting those Louisville red cleats, along with a bit darker red on the jersey for the Gatemen, wearing the camo hats as well tonight. Tracy now takes the fastball. Koger brought it just a little bit further up and gets the call.
Also has a unique red Louisville stitching on his glove there. It's nice to see the gear that these guys get at their schools and how they rock their apparel when they wear their team colors, and then they're very individualistic wearing those with their, Cape Cod colors here for whatever team they play for. It's cool.
1-1 to Tracy, bounces off of the plate and gets by Rene Lastras. And that moves Snell up to third. That ever-important insurance run for the Doors, standing just 90 feet away. And a 2-1 count awaits Tab Tracy. Top of the order follows him with John Spikerman. Spikerman also has a multi-hit game, including a home run. Falmouth trying to get him another shot in the 9th. The 2-1. Brushes back Tracy with the fastball at 94. Hitters count 3-1 to the Texas A&M Aggie. Infield is deep across the diamond with 2 away. Outfield playing Tracy straight up. Koger brings himself set. Deep breath. High leg kick. 3-1 fastball. Sent back to the screen. Reached back and brought that one home at 95 to run the count full.
Koger's bringing it. He reached back deep for that one. Lets his lower half fly through the zone there before releasing that baseball. And fighting back to even and full up the count here.
The payoff pitch to Tracy. Ground ball left side. Bozer fields on a hop. Long throw gets Tracy by a step. And the Gatemen escape the jam. Falmouth strands a runner at third, but still holds a 2-run lead headed to the bottom of the ninth on the Commodores Radio Network. Joey Ryan on for the bottom of the ninth, trying to pick up his second save of the summer and get Falmouth back across the bridge with an 8th win in their last 10 contests.
Well, Joey Ryan finally got his first save opportunity, converted on it. A couple of ground balls and balls put in play last time in the 5-2 win against YD. The last Doors game. I mean, yesterday Brewster game got rained out. A couple of other appearances, including here at Wareham, his first 9th inning appearance for the Doors. The big arm from Boston College is Mr. 9th inning for Falmouth.
Works from the windup and starts off Nick McLean with a fastball at the knees. Arizona State Sun Devil homered in his last at-bat in the 7th. That greeted Hunter Hodges. Now he'll greet Joey Ryan. Comes up empty. On the off-speed, it's quickly 0-2. Boston College Eagle looking very collected on the mound, working from that windup. McLean, the switch hitter, batting from the left side once again against the Commodores righty. Ryan into the motion. The 0-2. Sliced over our head, foul. Ricocheted off the building and back onto the bleachers. Always got to keep your head up. McLean stays alive. Another 0-2 upcoming. Towards infield very deep. Pizzana playing in shallow right field at second base. 0-2 is hit on the ground to McGregor at first. He'll take it himself. And the first man retired in the bottom of the ninth.
Nice job by Ryan to pound the zone there and not be afraid of this 2-hole hitter who went yard last time, and Nick McLean got him to roll over one on the pull side there to McGregor. It's been the name of Joey Ryan's game. Last 4 outs for him have been all in play on the ground, and it works. You save your arm, especially when you're entering a stretch of games where after tonight you got 10 games in 10 days.
Now Dorian Gonzalez gets his first appearance, and he skies it out to right. Tracy went back, now comes in, and he'll only see one pitch on the night at the plate as he flies out.
Tried to jump on a pitch there. Not a bad idea when Ryan pounds mid-90s fastballs like he does. That one at 93 just didn't get all of it. Hits a fairly deep right. Just like that, just in a matter of pitches. It's going to be pitch number 5 upcoming, and you already are 1 out away.
Here is Lawson Harrell out of Campbell. Tried to jump on the first pitch fastball himself and chopped it to the first base side. It's 0-1.
And McLean swung at the first pitch he saw too. The scouting report is get on the fastball early. Every at bat has started with that from Joey Ryan.
0-1 swinging, popped foul out of play, and the Gatemen down to their final strike at Spillane. Falmouth dugout up on the fence as Joey Ryan tries to shut the door. Righty gets the sign from Heyman. Goes into the motion, the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Joey Ryan puts an exclamation point on a Falmouth win, and the Commodores are headed back home, winners of 8 of their last 10.
That's how you do it. Doors strike out 15 Gatemen. That's a scouting report on this offensive juggernaut in the Gatemen. They score a lot of runs, but they like to swing that baseball bat and more often than not come up empty when doing it. They strike out a lot. Ryan picks up one right there. Good effort. I mean, you'd like to see the Doors put up more runs offensively in that later part of the ball game, but when you score 8, you'd like to hope that that holds. And this pitching staff of Falmouth did what it's known for. They strike out batters. They continue to lower that ERA right now, middle of the row in this Cape League. And you said it best, partner. 8 of your last 10 have been door dubs for this Falmouth team that now is making its way towards the middle of this West Division.
Falmouth now has sole possession of 4th place in the West, holding on to that final playoff spot as we get further into this second half of the season. We're out here in Wareham, but that'll do it for us tonight from Spillane. Back home tomorrow at Fuller Field as the Doors make up their contest from yesterday against the Brewster Whitecaps. We hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was a fun one for us out here in Wareham. For everybody at Spillane Field, Brennan Capozzi on the graphics, Destiny Sanchez, Matt Venezia. I'm Zach Sardenik saying good night from Spillane and hoping you have a blessed rest of your Tuesday night.